so settled.
Yeah, settled.
Super
Hey, we're settling and settled.
This is Thursday.
This is a Thursday pre-taping this episode.
Why?
Holiday Monday.
But what's Friday?
It's just I don't know.
Friday's a half day.
New
Friday's a half day.
Podcast stuff.
Friday's a half day.
They just pre-taped RT podcast too.
Yeah.
That's why Gavin was like, I ain't doing 2 in a row.
Yeah, he doesn't have the stamina required to talk twice.
No. So here we are though. We're slumming it. I'm your host, Michael Jones. We got Jeff Ramsey.
That's me.
We got Trevor Collins.
Hello.
We got Ryan Haywood. We got some sponsors for this episode. Felix Gray.
Before we get started, I want to take this opportunity to have a conversation with the audience.
First.
Oh.
Calm down.
Wanted to say,
making a joke.
No. Before he does it, this is more important.
Oh.
You're doing great.
See?
You're doing great. So I say hi.
See what I told you?
Keep it up.
That was nice.
Felix Gray, Bombas, and mystery sponsor. Trevor's edging.
Will the mystery be revealed, or
If they watch the ad read later and then go to the website where it's a video of Trevor edging. Trevor's
I
Edge
feel like
has
that would
sponsored
fit,
the
that
podcast.
would fit their, product.
Dude, I'm surprised edging wasn't in the ad read. It
do you think
it was out there, man.
you could handle the full like swordfish treatment?
What is that?
Yeah, did you guys not see that movie? You know,
Project Swordfish?
I saw
Oh, you mean like when the lady
Swordfish.
opens her legs and closes them again, and you see right up her skirt? Is that movie?
Nope.
That's
Oh,
Nope.
what's the what?
you know, Hugh Jackman is a hacker,
Yeah.
and then
No,
there's
I know both movies
and
that's
then,
happening
and then
here.
John Travolta's
that?
like, blow him.
Project Swordfish.
Yeah, it's not called Project.
Or
It's,
whatever.
it's just called Swordfish.
No, listen, the original was called Project Swordfish. They truncated it. You guys didn't read the original
that's-
script?
No, we didn't. But
That
I mean,
was-
we're talking about
That was the
Swordfish.
launch name of the Xbox.
And then also, is he talking about Sharon Stone? Is that who that is?
He's talking about
That's
Sharon Stone.
in,
What movie
Is that Basic Instinct?
Oh,
I do want to see John Travolta cross his legs like that, though.
Although, yeah, Hugh Jackman, he gets blown. He's like hacking and he's edge hacking. Like,
And he's like,
that's the test.
he has to stop and go.
he's
at
like,
one point, and then
go
go back
get that
and do it.
water and don't take no for an answer.
Yeah, he's like,
American
American Pie.
Dude, John Travolta showed up again. He's like back out in public.
Showed up.
He shut up just long enough not to know who Taylor Swift was,
Yeah,
and then
see, I brought that
sneaked
up.
back to his
No,
little Scientology hole.
He disappeared for a long time after that whole like.
He disappeared as a human. He was still doing movies.
Well, there was
though.
some Me Too gotcha, and then people finally were like, "That's a wig. Just admit it." And so he shaved his head. And yeah, but then he showed up at the VMAs.
If you're a Scientologist,
Yes.
this is not meant to offend you.
But it will.
However, I bought a new house, right? A while ago. I've lived there for a while now.
Oh, was
but
it full of thetans?
I go
Check that
yeah.
Xenu.
I go
run that
for
by
a
him?
lot of bike rides. I rode 45 miles last night. I'm going to ride 30 miles tonight. As soon as this stupid podcast is over, I'm going to go hit the streets.
Harsh.
Got to get my 120 miles a weekend. And so anyway, I was riding around last night, and one of my favorite things to do is I don't want you to geolocate where I live, but not too terribly far, within 20 miles of where I live is a Scientology center. A temporary
You're
one.
talking about
because
the one in your backyard?
The one
Across street from
the
you?
one on the drag is under construction, I guess. So they have like a temporary one over kind of like in Northwest Austin. And I like to drive by it at night and look at the people going in and out. And anecdotally, based on my evidence, or Emily and I, because we always ride bikes together, all Scientologists are bloated, old, fat, white dudes.
I believe it.
Yeah.
See,
You wouldn't think. You would look at that guy and you go like, oh, he doesn't.
I might think
I don't know
that.
why. It doesn't seem like a Scientologist to me. He looks like a dumb redneck.
well, you know what old fat white guys also usually look like? Rich.
None of these people strike me as rich.
No, that's all
That's the
Scientology
thing.
cares
Like
about,
I check
right?
out the cars in the parking lot, everything.
No, but that's the figurehead. They're the
It's
rich
not.
ones. Like
Yeah,
the
no,
Tom
that's what it
Cruises
is. It's
and
like
shit.
I expect to see a bunch of like dudes in suits who look like Illuminati.
These right,
Kind
yeah,
of?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I expect.
This is
a
new
bunch of
rich.
like Agent Smiths, if you will.
Okay.
And instead, it's just a lot of dudes that look like they have lawn care businesses.
Well, it's the same people that get hit by like the pyramid scheme
Yeah.
shit, right? Like,
Right, you
I'm
have to
gonna
have
tell
that
you how to
ground
get
floor.
thousands of dollars. Just give me hundreds of dollars and I'll
Like,
explain
it's
it
all
to
the-
you. And then they take and go.
That's how
it's
I
all
did
the
it.
people whose like their thetan level is loser.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I feel like
they
I've
gotta
always
claw their way up.
Every time I go by one of those places, I want to go in and just see what they're pitching.
yell at them.
That you
Get
never
in
leave.
there.
That's how they
Well,
get you.
here's what
That's how they get you.
They could absolutely trick me by doing something like if they blew up, like this man has no thetans. We need to take him to the next level. I might be like,
I'll accept
Yeah,
that.
they would.
He's special.
Maybe I'm special.
He's the one.
Also, you know how
Yeah.
like in the like if you saw Going Clear or anything about Scientology, you know how they hold the
Yeah.
the little
Yeah.
dildos?
Where
they hold the
where do they
silver
put their
dildos
feet? Where do they put their feet?
and they audit, and they're like,
Yeah.
imagine the dildos. You can just stand there at the strip mall and watch them do that. You can see it. They don't hide it. They're just like, it's fucking crazy.
Jerking them both off.
Watch it for an hour. Just watch a bunch of old, weird, fucking gross people going.
Can you see their numbers?
Scientology, Elron Hubbard, Dianetics. It's like that.
And then they're like, "You're in. Give us the nudes."
He's like, "Where's my $200,000?"
The difference between
Yeah.
Give us
this
all
and
your
all of
black
you see this
bullshit.
is not too distinct. Really.
It's
It's like a bunch of dudes going downhill skiing, if you know what I mean.
It's like the
But can you see the numbers? Does it
I
actually pop
didn't-
up?
I couldn't
Are
see
there
the
numbers, or is it like a tuning fork?
It's
where
like
you
a
just
dude
have to-
on one side of the table with like a little
numbers are hidden.
like an ancient machine.
He looks at it, he's like,
that's attached to two silver.
Here's the thing.
dick rods,
Yeah.
and then it's like some sad people that.
Can you buy one of those?
The test is free.
Can we-
But you got to pay to see the numbers.
Let me see.
That's how they get you.
Let me see.
And someone goes, "Oh,
I wanna test
I
our
would
thetan
buy the
levels
full
in the
package."
office.
How do you spell thetan?
THETAN. Thetan.
Thetan."
Yeah.
THE. Oh,
Yeah.
well, I
From
guess
Thetan.
is it based on
Thetan.
theta?
Sure.
Dude, there's going to be
EMeter.
a handful of Scientologists that are going to be
I'll
very
tell you
upset
this.
by this.
I'll tell you this. I'll say this about
I
L.
don't
Ron
give a
Hubbard.
fuck.
When I was in high school, I read the Mission Earth Decology, all 10 books.
Sounds like you're in already.
Really not decent sci-fi. I never read Battlefield Earth or whatever the movie that they made with Forrest Whitaker.
Talking about John Travolta again.
Travolta.
But I read the Decology
Travolta?
that was like a comedy
I
Decology.
was actually looking at volts.
And it's all about this dude named Sultan Grease. And I haven't read this in 25 years. I read this from high school. I was like 16.
half
But I
your life
remember it
ago.
being about a guy named Jethro Heller, who everybody liked, and then a guy named Sultan Grease, who was like a weaselly little dude who was trying to tank Jethro Heller and the success of some intergalactic bullshit. And they were on Earth. And Sultan Grease was really unlikable. And then at some point, he got a giant cock, and then all the women hated him but still slept with him. And that was like 10 books of some dude that women didn't like but fucked him because he had a big dick. That's L. Ron Hubbard.
That's the life.
That is L. Ron Hubbard.
All right, so you can buy an EMeter for $5,000.
Wow, that's a bargain. Guess who gets that money?
A Swiss maker disassembled one of them and finds remarkably sophisticated and over-engineered device.
Ron, they
There's
found
a
one
whole
for
video.
$250.
Oh wow,
Refurbished.
that looks a lot like
That's
the picture
basic.
too. Yeah, no, this
That
is
is-
the good model.
Yeah,
this one's chrome.
This is what they're showing us is the basic Scientology Mark Super 7 quantum EMeter package, refurbished with warranty for only
Super 7.
249.00
Let's
on
get
eBay.
one.
Yeah, let's get one.
We get one and we see who has the lowest thetan levels.
Yeah. So you want low level,
And then
I don't know. Thetans are bad things, right?
or do you want high level?
In the
No, I
thetans
think
are like
I
the
thought
evil
you wanted
spirits.
good thetans. I don't know.
I
dude.
thought the thetans were the
Let's just-
spirits of
here's
the
what we're gonna
crashed
have to do.
aliens or something.
We're gonna have to send Ryan to the Scientology
Undercover.
Center undercover
Why don't we just
for a
body
week,
cam
Ryan,
out?
and then he can come back and tell us
Ryan,
everything.
first things first, you need to gain 100 pounds.
Yeah,
in
you
order to
need
blend
you
in.
need to
I'm
get
gonna
100
eat
pounds.
Start eating.
You need
gonna eat a
100
pizza.
pounds and a lawnmower.
And then ride in.
Ride in on your John Deere.
Damn.
Like, how many Twitter followers do you need to get like in at level 3 though? Like,
Oh, he's trying to skip the line.
I'm not gonna get to.
Damn.
He's trying to Tom Cruise
I'm not gonna
on
Tom
up to the
Cruise my
top.
way in, but like,
There's
there's
got to
gotta
be a mid-level.
right?
There's
Yeah.
got to be like a recruiter tier or something.
I don't want to come grassroots up.
Guy wants to
through
get
pyramids.
fast-tracked.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that.
Send me out to the torture ship or whatever it is. You know, where they kill people and disappear them.
You got to pitch it, and it's like, how many people you want me to bring in? How many bodies do you need?
How many corpses do you want?
Well, they're alive when they get them.
I mean,
Yeah,
our
I
plan
don't know
is
what
now
they
out
do.
there, though. I'm gonna need like a
They're
false
not
nose
watching
or
this.
something.
Yeah,
that's
it's
true.
fine, dude. You gain 100 pounds, nobody will tell.
I don't know. They're scanning the internet. They're picking up all your words. You just made a list somewhere.
Damn, dude. They're coming
There's
for you.
somebody right now who looks surprisingly like he owns a lawn care business going through your trash.
Shit.
I promise you.
I know where he lives. You're gonna get disappeared by
You
a
hear
lawn care
crazy-
service.
I'll be honest. I don't know what someone who owns a lawn care business looks like. Because
I just explained it.
I have people that take care of my lawn, and they don't look anything like
No, the guy, they don't. The people that are taking care of your lawn don't look. The guy who
No.
owns the business looks like that.
Same guy.
Oh,
I know the guy. He doesn't
Yeah.
look like that.
No, you're right.
My guy doesn't. My guy's down in the trenches.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'll show up with the people sometimes.
that's cool.
He did a drive-by the other day. I was like, oh, great. What's this? Like, what does he want? He's going to be like, give me money or do whatever. And I was like, yeah, what's up? He's like, hey, how you doing? Yard good? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, cool. Let me know. I'm here.
While I'm here, here's a pamphlet.
Yeah. No, he didn't give me shit.
change
He was
your
just
life.
like, hey, you need anything, call me up. I'm like, cool. He was just making rounds.
I just don't know how else to describe it. If that makes sense. I was surprised, and I've been by the Scientology Center like maybe 10 times. Sometimes it's empty, there's nobody there. But I'd say 7 out of the 10 times there are people there, and they all are pretty much that dude. The dude I'm
Why
trying
don't
to
you
describe.
scoot on in someday?
I don't
You
know.
just be like, hey, I'm within the 20-mile radius. I'm just hanging out, looking for a good time.
Hey, I'm Jeff. I live across the street.
I definitely don't live across the street.
I'm looking for a party.
Or very close. It's definitely not in my neighborhood.
It's within the city.
Ryan, that's like
It's definitely not 3 blocks from my house.
That's a Reddit gangbang.
That's
what you just
beautiful. It's
said.
just enough to come down.
That
phone.
glisten would have been in the commercial.
Yeah,
there
that's
was,
what I'm
there was one single drop that went down the side.
Yeah, you poured
This
a
is
perfect
okay.
beer.
It's okay. I could have used 10% less.
You need to
Okay.
go in. You need a body cam up. Take Ryan with you. Leave Emily at home. She needs to be safe. And if you come back,
Dude,
we'll
what are
see
you
what
kidding me?
happens.
She's the one sending him in.
That's true.
Emily is the
she's
brave one in the
recruiting.
relationship.
We'll be in a van outside with all the live feeds. So when you disappear, at least we got it recorded.
All right,
And
so
she's
the-
a third-rank general.
The
already.
EMeter is supposedly able to see like a static field that surrounds your body, and it's supposed to tell the person that's checking whether or not you have been relieved from spiritual impediment of past experience.
That's good.
Has your
You wanna be
aura
relieved,
been
right?
disentangled from your past?
You want to be relieved.
Yes.
I'm always.
I mean, I would like to be
So
relieved.
high numbers is relief?
Well,
high
that's-
numbers is attachment.
I'm going
Yeah.
further in to see.
It's like, yo, you got 4,000
So it
meters
sounds
of
like-
shit weighing you down, dude.
If you're edging, you're gonna have some high numbers. You need to
During-
relieve yourself.
So basically you hold the thing, and then
Yeah.
they ask you a series of questions.
Did they say where to put your feet?
And then it doesn't say anything about feet, just like the hold,
Okay.
the handhold part. And
What if you don't have hands?
You're fucked.
They
You
just
can't
shove it up
do
your
it.
ass. They just mouth and anus. I mean,
Damn.
it's completing a circuit through you either way.
Yeah,
They
dude.
they just tape it to your face.
Yeah.
This guy's going nuts
That's.
over here.
Oh, the
need
church
to eat.
responded.
Now that
All right.
Millie's in 8th grade,
Yeah.
I have
Glad we
just,
busted that myth right there.
just discovered something. I'm a cool dad, not because of Rooster Teeth.
No, you're a loser because of that.
I am a loser because of that. You are absolutely
No,
correct.
I know.
Lifetime
Really.
loser.
I know.
I'm a cool dad, not because of Rooster Teeth these days, but because I have a black flag tattoo, and because all the kids are starting to get into punk rock.
Damn, dude. Do
That's
they
happened
let
to me
you-
like twice in the
Does
last-
that just a standalone, or does that counterbalance your milkshake tattoo? Because you also have milkshake. Under
Nobody's
your
asked about
nipples.
milkshake yet.
You have. You have.
Did I tell you?
You have a giant nose that says loser.
Right before we
They like
started
that
right
tattoo?
before we started the podcast, I was telling Michael that the next tattoo I'm going to get, I might get it this weekend. What do you think it is?
What do I
Words.
think it is?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Words. Where,
Yeah,
can
it's
I
just
get,
like another
Emily
phrase. It's like
dared me to
milkshake.
get it last night.
is it a
and
tramp
I was
stamp?
like, fuck it, I don't care. No,
gotta
I'm going to
give-
get it on my ankle.
You
I
got to
think.
give them some
Okay,
extra
ankle.
context.
She wanted me to
You
get it
know,
on
give
my
'em something.
knuckles. I'm going to
If it on
get
knuckles.
I'm going to get two 4-letter words.
on your knuckles.
This
not
word.
gonna
I'm not
do
going to do it on my
but he
knuckles. That's
could've.
too much. I'm going to get it on my leg. And I'm trying to fill out my leg.
On your
anyway.
ankle knuckle.
I'll even give you this one. Hard. So 4-letter word. Hard.
I don't.
Come on.
It's
don't
so
know.
close to the Dewey Cox.
What is?
story.
Here's another hint. Jeff loves doing it.
Blowhard?
So close.
No.
Wow.
I don't know.
What?
It's like a
mean,
fart. Like I don't
feels like,
know.
wow.
Fart hard.
Correct.
Hey!
I should have just gotten literally a
Listen,
fart.
Jeff just blowing all the
Getting a tattoo
time.
that says fart hard on my leg.
No, put it
know
on your
why not.
knuckles. Get it on
I'm
your
not gonna do
hand.
my knuckles. That's too much. I gotta go to business meetings.
Dude,
and
like
shit.
that's awesome. He's got the black flag tattoo and the fart hard tattooed on.
Fart
him.
hard.
Oh,
Everybody says
God.
fart hard. It's the thing. It's the cool thing. All
Now,
the kids
are they
doing it.
actually into Black Flag, or is it like?
Yeah, they are.
Is it like the hipster girl thing where they start wearing Metallica and stuff, and they don't listen to the
No,
music?
no,
they just
no,
kind
no,
of
no.
wear
I
it?
don't
Who
think.
cares?
I don't,
He's cool.
I don't think Black Flag has surfaced that level of punk rock has surfaced to that level.
Sure. So
I
they're
think-
actually listening to it.
Yeah, I think
They
they're
better
actually-
be.
That's
They're in
dope.
the 8th grade. You're starting to get rebellious. You're
cassette
starting to like
tapes, they
hate
got
the man
records.
and establishment. You start to listen to like
They start.
angry
That's the 8th
political
grade. You
music.
starting to edge.
Starting to edge.
Oh, you're finding out about that.
Society.
Trevor Jr.
You're going like, but nothing's coming
What's
out.
the world's longest edge, dude? Man, we have
He's in U2.
we have years of stuff. But August has been. It's been like the summer of edging.
It's really
Summer
it's really
2019.
fired in, dude.
The
Real
edges
edgy.
have
No,
really
I
come
would even
out.
say it probably started in July.
I think I mentioned it in passing, but I don't remember what the first instance
Trevor
was.
mentioned edging, and it was really funny to me. So now, anytime someone makes a weird noise or anything, I go, you edging over there?
It was Miet spring.
Miet.
Miet was the springtime.
The springtime of Miet.
Yeah, and then we have
But that's
edging
now
summer.
been like solidified.
Yeah,
it's not at the
he's
top,
owned it.
but like it's
still there.
It's cemented.
Yeah.
it's just not the current thing.
Yeah.
it's now a forever.
He's now taking it on upon himself.
because he has no
He's
choice,
saying Miet. Fair.
What's he
Fair.
gonna do about it?
I don't know.
He was like, "Fuck it, I guess I'll put it on this Disney hat."
Oh yeah, he did. I forgot about
Might as well
that.
Miet.
Yeah, he went to Disney. Jack, Fiona, and Matt went to Disneyland
Papa Jack
as
took
they
them
do.
to
Yeah,
Disney.
and then he got Miet put on his hat.
Dude, Jack went on a Seven Wonderings yesterday. My favorite thing about Seven Wonderings is the angry texts I get from Jack.
Have we announced the name of the show yet?
Yeah, he's
Yeah, I
mentioned
think
a
so.
bunch.
I mentioned a bunch.
There it is. Miet.
Anyway, I won't say where he was going or who he went with or what he was doing, but he just sent me a myriad of photos of how little space he had in his plane and his knees being like under the seat.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
pretty
And just
yeah.
like, I fucking hate this. Like, until like 1 a.m. last night, I was getting texts like, this sucks.
I think we were in the midst of doing a Let's Roll when you got that.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's a good time.
He didn't stop there. I got text all night.
That's great.
Wake up! Look what's happening now.
What did they put
Look
him
at
in a
what you've done
tiny
to me.
hotel
That was the
too?
last thing I got
What's the
from
problem? He
him.
must have gotten
No.
off the plane at some
No.
point.
Well, actually, the last thing I got from was we got a convertible and a very happy picture of him.
Yeah. She looks a little concerned, but
She does.
Yeah.
she looks terrified.
It's fine.
I don't know what's in front of them.
You know, Trevor and I have a little adventure next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have a little adventure.
I forgot about it until just
Yeah.
before this podcast.
Or actually, should we cut that? Are we not supposed to know that? Should probably not.
Who's going where and what?
No, just that we know it's coming.
You guys are allowed to know it's coming. You just don't know when exactly.
Oh, okay.
We don't know what we're doing or where
You don't know what you're doing.
It's
where
really
you're going.
annoying, actually.
But if you have kids and
It's
stuff,
like-
you have to
I
know,
always-
like, at one point next
Yeah.
week, you're going to go out of town. for
I get a really weird mob-like communication from work that's like, just, hey, tell your wife you ain't coming home.
Yeah, I have to go somewhere else next week. So I was like, I'm going from wherever to there, and that was really interesting explaining that. Like trying to get the people who booked the trip. I'm like, yeah, I have to go here, so I need to know that I have the ticket. And they're like, well, you can't see the ticket. You don't know when or where. And I'm like, right, I just need to end here. I
Yeah.
don't know where the hell I'm
Yeah.
going. I just need to end here.
I need to end up here.
Because I'm doing a convention next weekend with Lindsay in Salt Lake. And then I'm talking to people in Salt Lake.
Scary straight
and they're
edge scene
like,
in Salt Lake.
yeah,
Stay
dude,
stay
I'm
stay
wor-
clear of the straight edge
I'm
scene.
worried,
Straight
dude.
edging?
I'm
Wait,
worried.
what is that?
Salt Lake City has the most violent straight edge scene in America.
What does these words mean? What do you say?
Straight edge is like no drinking, no drugs, no nothing like that.
No drinking, no
Well,
drugs, no
it's-
Jeff.
No
Why are they
sex.
Lots of
violent?
Mormons there,
No
right?
sex, just
Because there's no
violence.
drinking or drugs or sex. Because straight edge people are angry.
But I feel like that goes with it.
Dude,
no violence
drinking,
would be part of it.
no drinking, no drugs, no
Historically
sex. That's a
violent-
life of edge.
There's semen
At all points.
There's
They're
beer.
Historically angry, violent movement.
They're perma-edge.
It's fun. Don't get me wrong. I have straight edge friends. I love straight edge
do they
music. I
keep-
like Judge stuff like that. But it's very
they-
angry.
That's where
militant.
Ray goes to
That's
kill
okay.
Why are
people.
they so
Yeah.
militant?
He goes to
That's-
Salt
there's
Lake
probably-
and just starts chopping up
Because
bodies.
it's a very.
They're doing that for.
You're gonna get in trouble.
Hold on. Yeah.
It's a very militant. There are factions of it. I don't want to paint everybody with a wide brush, but there are factions of the straight edge movement.
Put on
that are,
your
like,
smock.
Militantly straight edge.
Now,
Explain to
when
me.
you
Like-
say they're militantly straight edge, you mean
like if I
they-
see you drinking a beer, I'll punch you in the
Yeah,
face.
they're not just
Like, don't come to the punk show and try to drink a beer in
It's
front of
not
me
like-
because my friends and I will beat the shit out of you.
It's not like a personal goal.
I'll
it's
look
a
out.
projection of
Yes.
that on all of society should be this way.
What if Scientology was like that? If
Like,
you rode your
back
bike
in
by,
the-
they
They
came
are.
and-
They'll kill
They
you.
ran out and decked you because
Back
they
in the
knew you weren't
90s,
Scientologists.
and I recognize the 90s was a long time ago, but then late 90s, early 2000s,
was
I don't
there.
know that it's still as bad as it was, but like even my friends, like when I was roadieing with Cash 22 and stuff, they would get death threats before they would come to Salt Lake City. Like, don't
Jeez.
play Salt Lake City. We don't want
I got-
outsiders. We don't want.
I've
bringing
never
in-
heard this
yeah.
about.
Yeah,
Salt
me
Lake
neither. I got like an introduction letter that's like, hey, welcome to the con.
Better not drink.
Yeah, or we'll kill you.
Yeah.
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 We'll
No,
curb
but it's
stomp
funny
you.
because they
Just
'cause
don't
usually
show up at a basement
when you
punk
do-
show at 2 in the morning,
I hadn't
and you'll be
planned on
fine.
it, but that's fine.
That would be a very big accident and for Michael to wind up
Yeah,
at a
dude.
punk show underground at
Listen,
2
here's
a.m.
the thing,
would
like
you-
I'll fuck up a straight edge person, all right?
I'm
right.
confused.
Don't come at me.
Why would you be?
I'd be
Finish
like,
'em.
I'm like, what's happening here? Oh, I'm beating you for some reason. And so you're trying to bombard me for something.
Jeff looks dubious. All of these things are traditionally associated with like a religious affiliation, right? Like, why else would you do all of that abstinence?
Lifestyle.
It's about clear mind, clear body.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it was straight edge as a movement. I don't want to get into the whole thing, but straight edge as a movement. It started in the late '70s with a guy named Ian McKay, who is famous. Well, he created Discord Records, and he created the band Fugazi, and then some other great bands like Egg Hunt and the Evens, Minor Threat. But anyway, he coined the term straight edge because essentially. And I don't want to speak for him, but at that time there was just like it was a punk rock was a violent, dangerous place where there was a lot of people rebelling and getting drunk and kind of just like honestly, I'm sorry, I'm from the same community, but a lot of losers that just like want to waste their lives and get drunk and just like I did it for many years.
I'm still doing it.
But like it was a very self-destructive time and a very self-destructive scene, and so the pendulum swings both ways, and so out of that was born people that adhered to the anti-establishment DIY subculture of it, but not the self-destructive nature of it, and so they went the other way and started the straight edge movement,
Like
which
an
was,
overcorrection.
like or just a correction. Like I don't want to poison my body with drugs and alcohol and cigarettes, or cloud my thoughts with sex. And it was honestly more like I wouldn't say spiritual, but like,
meditative,
like personal betterment. Yeah, more meditative.
It's so interesting to hear you describe it that way, but still have it be aggressive and violent. Like those are typically violence is one of those things that if you're trying to find inner peace.
So
by beating the life out of someone else.
straight edge isn't. I'm not straight edge, so I feel bad talking about it so much. But and I'm gonna get yelled at on Twitter, I'm sure. But there are subsets and subgenres of all things, and not everybody who's into straight edge is militant or violent. Not everybody who's into straight edge is into straight edge music. I know a lot of straight edge people, or I knew, who were just really into hip hop, but there's not a lot of hip hop straight edge, or maybe there is now, but there wasn't then. But had no connection to straight edge music, which is bands like
The Osmonds.
No, but see, because it gets into the whole thing where like an offshoot of straight edge was Krishnacore, and like that's a whole thing. It's complicated.
Okay.
How do they feel? Where does that fall on cosplay? Do they like that, or they don't like that?
I don't have any.
Or making
purview
voices
into
for
that. I don't know.
I think
It's very specific to what you are
what I'm
doing.
going for.
Yeah. Do they like anime?
I hope so.
Anime wasn't a thing in the 90s and 80s when I was.
They like
into
straight
punk
edge
and-
anime.
What do you
Anime
do with
about doing your homework.
like a straight edge?
turn it
There was this
on
whole thing
time.
like there's this thing called the youth core movement, and then there was,
Okay.
This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by a mysterious object. It's something totally awesome, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. You have to guess. It's ice cold, almost corpse-like. Some people are afraid of it and think it's for Satan worshippers. It would also hurt really, really bad if you lost a bet and had to shove it up your ass. That's true. I haven't done it, but I imagine it would hurt. I've been enjoying this item for the last several weeks. I recommend it. It's good for you, and it's good at you. What is this mystery item, you may ask? I'm still not telling you, but it's metal as fuck, and it's actually responsible for more deaths a year than serial killers. Tough stuff, I know. You can get some for free if you literally sell your soul, and all of you living with your parents, you'd be very grounded if they found it in your possession. Sounds pretty cool, right? But like I said, I'm not telling you what it is. You'll have to find out for yourself by going to whatthefuckisthisshit.com/offtopic. And you'll even get 6.66% off if you decide to buy it. That's whatthefuckisthisshit.com/offtopic. One more time, whatthefuckisthisshit.com/offtopic. Yes, it's true. That's the ad read. That's the sponsor. Go check it out if you dare. So I'll be in Salt Lake next weekend if you want to come by.
So just say
Slip
careful.
on by. You and the Ruby
if you
girls?
don't want to fight me, yeah.
don't fight them.
Yeah.
Careful
Don't do it.
Careful who you ask for a beer.
No Barbara, right? I don't think she's going.
I don't know. I don't know. I thought she
What
was.
good are you?
I thought she was leaving 2 weekends in a row.
What good are
This
you?
one and next.
I don't think she is.
It's not my
going,
schedule, it's her
but-
schedule.
Yeah, you know though. That's your assistant. He's got the notes.
I know where my
He's
girlfriend is this
fielding it
weekend.
at all times.
Yeah.
She can tell him.
Oh,
Need to know basis. You don't need to know.
secret mission.
I know she's going to Dragon Con this weekend, right? I don't know that. I
Yeah,
think she is.
yeah, she's leaving today.
Well, you know that.
Yeah, it's immediate future. I didn't even know I was leaving next week. I didn't know I was leaving next weekend.
Consider next week immediate future.
Yeah, that's pretty close. That's
In
pretty
the grand
soon.
scheme of
There's a
things.
whole weekend before then. I gotta
Trevor,
figure out what I'm doing.
I know that Barbara's out of town because it's the same thing when Lindsay's out of town. Trevor's making his weekend plans. Like, I'm free. You want to go to the movies?
Got shows to watch, movies to see. There's tons of like movies that aren't up her alley, and the same goes both ways. She's got a lot of shows that I don't watch, shows that she doesn't watch.
What shows does she watch that you don't watch?
Well, now I've started to dabble, but she watches more reality TV than I do. Like she was watching Bachelor and stuff, and so I started watching that with her. But now she watches like Say Yes to the Dress, and
I don't know that one.
That's
shoot.
the
There's a bunch-
fiancés
You know what,
or brides
I don't
they
know
want
that one?
dresses.
No, you know what I've been trying to get into
What's
because
up?
Emily likes it that I just can't get there?
Hit me.
Kardashians. I just can't get into
Yeah,
it.
no,
why?
I've watched like 4 episodes of the latest season and I just it doesn't connect with me.
I haven't tried.
Unbearable.
I mean, a lot of the stuff I watch is unbearable. I watch Bachelor in Paradise. That's unbearable.
The thing
but
is, though,
it's
like
more
I can take
entertaining than-
more like unbearable nobodies than unbearable like
Somebodies.
famous, rich.
Well, you look at them and you go,
celebrities.
man, people idolize it. Like they want to be that, and so it just kind of
Yeah.
makes it maybe
I
more
like
frustrating.
generic, just crap, but
I will say one thing in defense of that show or those people is
big booties.
say what you will about them.
Defense one.
The Kardashians, positive or negative, that is a family. Like they have a legitimate sense of family. They really love and care.
There's
and
a lot
support
of
about
them,
each other
too.
in a way that like
Ryan's
a lot of
upset about what
families
you said.
don't. You
I
know?
just well, do they though? I mean,
I think they do. It comes across as absolutely genuine. I will say that.
I feel
Especially
like
when
that
they
is-
like hate
I don't
each other.
particularly enjoy the
All the
show,
drama.
but and they fight a lot. But but I get the sense that they really do genuinely care about each other and support each other and have a like strong family.
It's their brand, and
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like.
But I think it's their brand because that's authentic.
Sure.
And I think that's got to be what people
I have trouble
latch onto.
believing
Yeah.
anything that is a product of reality TV. I mean, every time you hear about any, it just happened recently where one of the ladies on Big Brother or whatever was like, they were talking about what they had said in the confessional, and they came out and was like, "Don't talk about what you said in the confessional." And then she was like, "Well, stop telling me what to say in there." That's 100% how those things work. Is
A lot of it. No, for sure.
You sit down in there and they're like, "All right, we need you to tell us that you've got beef with this person and blah blah blah." And it's like that's bullshit. They just make it
Yeah.
up for TV.
To a degree, but then that also is the same thing as when you sit down with Hannah or Daniel or anybody when we do a weird place or a hardcore tabletop or whatever. They're like saying like talk about this or talk about that, but they're not necessarily feeding lines to you.
They'll be like,
They've tried a few times.
Yeah,
even
or
with
you
our
like
stuff, which
like
is how I
would you
know
say
it happens.
like when they do it, they'll say, "Would you say this?" And you go, "Yeah, I would say that." And they go, "Could you say that?" Or they say, "Would you say this?" And you go, "Now." And they go, "Okay, well, what would you say?" And you go, "I would say this."
I'm trying to remember on when we were doing confessionals for the Omen thing. There was something Drew was like, "Now, can you tell me about this?" And I was like, "No, I wouldn't say that."
And what does Drew go? He goes, "Okay, cool."
No, and no, he's
Yeah,
great about it. He backed off of it, but that's us.
well, he's trying to.
So
I
those
mean,
assholes
you're
are
right.
definitely just
He's
like,
trying to hit-
say it or you're
They're
not
like,
famous
I mean,
anymore.
No, well,
yeah. Some people,
Yeah.
for sure. I'm probably not the Kardashians.
By the time you get to be, but I bet you at the beginning with the Kardashians,
yeah, but the
it was
beginning
like,
they were already rich and famous.
That's
They
true.
weren't like reality famous, but like they weren't nobodies at the beginning of the
No,
Kardashians. That's
no.
just another thing on top of their empire.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, to be fair, our talking heads were trying to call back to existing like talking points throughout an existing narrative. So we were just basically using the talking heads to talk about things that already existed. I don't know how much in reality TV they're talking about things that are existed or making things like
Trying to
they're
guide
contrived,
yeah.
they are invented scenarios and like
Yeah.
and then the editing supports
I would
it.
say that it much more, if you want to talk about like the manipulation of reality TV, I would say it happens more in the way that the TV show Unreal existed, where there are producers assigned to cast members, like let's take The Bachelor, for instance. And there are producers, like maybe there's 16 Bachelor contestants. So there's probably 4 producers, or maybe 5 producers who split those people up, and they're their handlers. And there are bonuses to the producers, like the executive producer will say, "I'll give $5,000 to whoever can get a contestant take their shirt off." or $5,000 if you can convince this person to fight for that person, or that they want that person. And so they'll drive story that way, but I don't think that they're feeding them lines as much as you think they are.
I think they're driving scenarios.
I think they're driving scenarios
and letting them react.
And they're also what they're doing on those shows is they film from like midnight to 8 a.m. They're tired. They don't let them sleep, and they're fucking drunk, and they don't let them eat. And so
it's literally like police.
They're drunk and loopy.
Like
it kind of honestly is. And then they these people have all gone through a psychiatric evaluation beforehand. They know
the pressure.
They know their pressure points to hit, and then they just put them in, and then they turn those, or they tweak or push those buttons, and then they just step back and let it happen, and then
did you watch this week's Bachelor in Paradise?
Funny side effect of doing the podcast test last week is I started to watch it and I thought, I can't watch this. I need to do it for work. And then I thought, I'm not making that show. Yeah. But no, I watched the first 30 minutes of Monday's episode, and then I turned it off because I felt
we have that pilot.
Like I was cheating on work somehow.
I feel like that pilot will test that realm, and then we'll kick off if people like it, if they want to watch it or hear more of it. I should say, not watch.
Are you caught up? Did you watch both episodes?
I don't know if I watched the other one because we watched it on.
Damn, look at that hat here, Ryan.
No. I think I did watch it. Yeah, I did, because somebody shows up and they leave it on that cliffhanger. But like, they basically took a strong relationship. I don't want to spoil it for when you watch it.
It's fine. You can spoil it.
Okay, so Dean and Kalyn.
Dean's mustache guy, right?
Yeah. They're like, Dean's like on her birthday.
They were rock solid.
On her birthday, he gives her a flower or gives her the rose, and then he's like, "I'm leaving now. Like, I have to do this for us because otherwise we're gonna get too close, and then when I leave, it's gonna hurt more." So then he leaves.
He's leaving her, or leaving the show.
He's leaving. He left the show and her, and then it shows at the end, like on a foreshadowing, he just comes back like the next day.
Yeah.
And now that they gave her time to find somebody else to like, so it's like they're just shoving scenarios around.
She found someone to like it the next day?
They had to
they forced that too. They're like, Kalyn like this person
That's the
before, so let's
Bachelorette, baby.
drag him on the show.
Wow.
They're also
put them together.
You gotta think that they're also hot and young and dumb and horny and lonely.
They're not edging. They're going all in.
So it's like as soon as that person's gone,
they don't have time to edge.
And they're also together 20 hours a day.
Yep.
So they develop those. It's kind of like when I was in the Army. I was thinking about this the other day in relation to that show. You build relationships. I'm sure college and other things like that are very similar, but in the military, you would build relationships with people really, really quickly.
You get that tight brotherhood.
That tight brotherhood.
I mean, that's almost here to an
similar
extent.
to here.
You know what I mean? It's not like an office job where like you just work next to some guy. It's like we have to do everything together. We have to like film shit together. And it's not just like work as in, and it's the same thing for the show where it's not just work as in like, hey, we did this paperwork, the thing is done. It's like the chemistry is part of the product.
The chemistry is the product.
So it's like, get the shit going. Let's do it. Roll it in there.
Yeah.
People want to see it. So I get that.
Yeah.
It's just hyper, kind of fast tracked.
It's just fast tracked. And if you imagine going on a first date and then a second date and a third date with somebody over the course of a week, even you spend 6-7 hours with them, or they do that before lunch on the first day they're together. So it's like it is a tremendous amount of time in a really short, and it's also in a playground. It's a tremendous amount of time together.
You're in
Rich
Mexico.
fancy house, fancy resort, whatever.
You're on
They're not allowed to
vacation and you can
communicate
do whatever,
outside of it.
and you feel important and special because there's cameras around and people are interested in asking you if you're okay and offering you things. And it's like it's a fantasy,
A bowl of
You
condoms
develop
like they
those
do at the
bonds.
Olympics.
They better.
With holes in them.
I think,
They want the drama of someone getting pregnant.
That's season 2.
See, like,
Well, they just feed the other shows.
yeah. The more I watch Bachelor in Paradise, the more I get cynical about the forced scenarios. I don't think they make people say stuff, but for example, Kalyn's been like on this immense emotional roller coaster because they're like, oh, everything's great. Take them off. Everything sucks. Give someone back. Everything's great. Put him back. Oh, everything's terrible because now I have to choose. And then they feel like, so it's like putting people through and then capturing their reactions. And then some people leave because they want to avoid it. Some people don't. What's you got?
It sounds like just all
get a cowboy?
terrible.
There's a cowboy and there's a standard.
Like, why do we do
do the
these
standard?
things to each other as humans?
in here.
because
Other humans want to see it.
It
I
makes
guess
me,
this is a step up from gladiatorial combats.
nobody's getting eaten by a lion.
I do get kind of like,
That's cool, right?
Siegfried and Roy might.
I do get kind of like,
Yeah, but how often does that happen?
It was a tiger too.
Yeah,
so
dude.
It's very different.
the
Tiger
ethics
really
of those
came between
TV
them.
shows are a bit, I'm not sure, but
Yeah, well, the ethics of everything.
I'm also like, but by watching it, you, I guess, validate it and support it. So
Sure.
there
Hypnotic.
we go.
I'm just spinning my ring, and my camera zoomed in on it because it's quiet and it's fun. And I learned this from Conan.
It's exploitation for entertainment, but if the end result is beneficial for the people that are being exploited, I don't know that it's wrong. You know, people say this a lot.
Like they're being paid. They
People
get their
say this a
followers.
lot about the Howard Stern show, and that they, you know, they're like Howard has the whack pack. The people like Beetlejuice and well, a lot of them are dead now, but like High Pitch Eric or
Not
High
because of
Register
Howard.
Sean or all these guys, and they're like, oh, Howard is he's taking advantage of these people because they're off kilter. But Howard's take on it has always been, and I totally agree with it. He's like, I'm giving these people opportunities they never would have had. I'm elevating them. They're making money. They're developing a celebrity. They're developing a career in many cases outside of it that they just wouldn't have had. Wendy the Slow Adult has one could argue has a much better life now because of her association with the Howard Stern show and other radio shows than she would have had if she'd never picked up the phone and called one day. You know, and it's like, so it's hard. It's a complicated issue.
Yeah.
It really is.
I mean, as long as you're mentally competent, then you make the choice to be exploited as much as someone.
The question is, are these people mentally competent? That's where it gets.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the people on the
There's a
Bachelor
wide
are
range.
mentally competent.
That's Tax right there. That's Jeff Tax.
Jeff Tax.
He just took it.
I
as we
honestly
call,
didn't
at
ask
home,
for tots,
daddy
so
tax.
if you want some tots, you can
Tot
take some
I
tots.
don't give a shit either way.
I'll hit a
I
top.
already
those
cheated on.
tots.
I cheated on my diet at lunch today with Matt. So
This
How was your lunch?
it was good. Good.
brings me to something
taco
funny that I just thought of with the food.
What's
it's,
that?
It's just a minor thing here. I got it. I got to squeeze it in. So Nick came by the office the other day from broadcast. I don't remember what he was in there for.
Oh, talking about audio podcasts?
Yesterday.
Maybe that was it. And Ryan, and we've talked about this before, like
Oh, what'd I do?
he was just at one point Ryan was just we had leftover hot dog buns from DHD. So Ryan just had a bag of buns
Yeah.
at his desk and he was just eating buns. And then like Trevor and I were it's not one. Trevor and I were at like in the office at the end of the day and we were talking about it. And Ryan had 2 buns left on his desk and he's like, he's been eating buns. And Trevor goes, but the thing is, like, would he eat more if he had more? I'm gonna replenish him with a fresh package. So like he took a new
I knew
one.
where they were.
No, but he just put it right on your desk and was
I
like,
took the work out of it.
yeah, and he was like, I'll just give him
put 'em
more
back.
buns. So that was a while ago. But yesterday was just whatever. And at one point, Ryan's just eating hot dog buns again. And
I've seen one.
I'm just saying, but you were eating hot dog buns.
You were
like,
absolutely-
in general.
No, I was eating a hot dog.
Okay, you were eating a hot
Trevor ate
dog
the
bun
other
out of
one.
a package of hot dog buns.
I was not alone.
Okay, so
Nobody said you were.
during this, Nick walks in, and I just thought like that was funny in itself that Ryan was eating a single hot dog bun.
Thank you.
And Nick came in and talked about whatever, and I go, "Yo, Nick, you want a hot dog bun, man?" And also the conversation was, "Are they expired?" Was also happening at the same
There
time.
was 7 days past.
Yeah, and I go,
by.
"Yo,
But they're
Nick, you
okay.
want an
fine.
expired hot dog bun?" And he goes, yeah, I'll take one."
He goes, you know what? Yeah,
"Yeah, I'll take one." And I go, "Yo, he doesn't want us to take his desk." He was like, "I'm not gonna say no to food. I'll take the hot dog bun."
That's why he took it.
It's an expired hot dog bun.
we went
I didn't even
outside-
think about it.
We went outside to talked about audio podcasts.
Good choice, Nick.
He was smart.
We talked about the audio podcast. Meanwhile, he just kind of had the hot dog bun, and I think he kind of like, I don't know if he took a bite, but he had torn it in half to kind of like.
That's fine. The point is, he
You
took
took it. You
to
took
make it look like
what
something
he
a
does.
He took a bite.
What
Okay.
he does with the hot dog bun
Clear.
after it's in his possession is entirely his business.
Right. But I like the courtesy.
Yeah, he took the hot dog bun, and that's why
that
he's
shows
still sitting in a
respect.
chair
Yeah, dude.
at a desk.
I almost had whiplash when he went, "Yeah, I'll have one."
Right
He was
on.
he reluctant, but he thought about it and went, "I should just take it." It was funny.
We've really stumbled on something here. We've made a name for ourselves,
Yeah,
and now we
dude.
need to have some of the strange foods that are available front and center for that sort of thing.
So we waterboarded each other yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Actually, I think I just waterboarded
I didn't think about
you.
it. I didn't think about it
Everyone
till-
got waterboarded except for Ryan.
I
didn't think
did
about it
all
till
the
I got home.
waterboarding.
I
Ryan
was
was
like-
the torturer.
So we put ourselves through our own emotional turmoil.
Yeah, it was funny though.
It's
It
not
was-
really waterboarding torture if you can get up. When
Well, and I
And
wasn't
then you're
held
like,
down
"Do
with
me,
a
do
towel
me."
or anything,
Yeah.
but the effect of filling your mouth and nose with water and not being able to do anything about it, it's definitely. I land on the it is 100% torture.
Well, here's
side of
what
it.
we
Those are
learned.
very cool between the games.
If you can get up whenever you want and make it a competition, people waterboard themselves.
That's true. Trevor walked up and goes, "What are you doing? Come on." Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, Trevor's like,
loved it.
outrageous. Give me a turn.
We also got in a fight
Yes,
with
and Michael.
with the live action folks.
I still don't know what that was about.
No, it was the comedy group. Yeah, they were I assume they were filming something because they kept yelling out their
We're in
window.
the fucking parking
Here's the
lot.
thing.
We're in the parking lot.
They were filming, or they were like, get off my lawn.
That's possible.
They started with
don't know.
Max, and I think it was then Christina. I don't know. They just kept yelling at us to shut up out their window, but they never explained why, and we just yelled back.
We got a couple of shut-ups. There was some cross yell.
Yeah.
It's hard to edge when you hear people yelling
I'm
and
mukbanging.
and when you get waterboarded in the background.
I'm gonna dick pee.
Okay.
There's
Yeah,
a lot of gurgling going on.
yeah. I made a very vocal gurgle in my second attempt.
Would you? I mean, you'd think people getting water poured on their face would be pretty quiet, but no.
Dude, we've been louder.
We've been much louder. I think it was all the rest of us yelling around
wasn't
it.
that
That
bad.
We
was-
still got water. Let's go back and see how loud we can be while getting tortured.
Lindsay did try to gargle through it.
Yeah, no.
Didn't make it very long.
You just blow through your air faster, which means
Dude,
you have to get up faster.
hot Texas day, though, sure was refreshing.
It really was.
It was like,
We
They don't talk about that part
Yeah.
of waterboarding.
we did a photo shoot prior to that,
Guantanamo, hot.
and it was outside, and it was for fall stuff. It's for the Barbara Dunkelman line coming out in the fall at some point.
You doing photos for the B-Dunk line?
Yeah,
Traitor.
and so we had a couple of us out there. We were layered up in like a hoodie, jackets, and like long pants and stuff, and it was hot. It was like 100+ degrees out, or at least it felt like 100 degrees is what the feel like was. And it was pretty bad. So to come back, get a little refreshing waterboarding going on, that was it was okay.
controlled. It was a controlled environment.
Controlled
Yeah.
waterboarding.
You know?
In that it was a parking lot
And people were
on
yelling at
a
us.
weight bench.
Right. Nobody was strapped in.
No, there wasn't even a towel. They're just pouring water in your mouth.
I was trying to drink as much as possible,
I got a good gulp.
which I don't think usually happens during waterboarding.
They're like, "Can I have
I was
some
just
more?"
gulp, 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 gulp.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, really, most of the time I had to stop because my belly was full.
Yeah.
And I was like, too much water.
You're probably getting, well, I'd say you're getting a lot of air, but I was pretty much filling your mouth.
you were
There
blasting
was no
us.
air going in there.
You were blasting us. It was good.
All of that out of context. Not great. Not great.
It turns out it takes some skill to really keep a constant stream without the glug glugs, too.
Yeah. Because the
Yeah, I know. You had to pour short of that.
5-gallon barrel.
That was 5
it's 5
gallons?
gallons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used like half of it. This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by Bombas. How often do you think about your socks? If you're like I used to be, not much. Pretty stupid, right? But I recently discovered socks that changed the way I'll think about socks forever. They're called Bombas. Super comfy, super stylish, super covering your feet. And if that's what you're looking for, well, you're gonna get it. Bombas are the most comfortable socks in the history of feet. They're made from super soft, natural cotton, and every pair comes with arch support, a seamless toe, and a cushioned footbed that's comfy, but not too thick. With many colors, patterns, lengths, and styles, Bombas looks great in the gym, at the office, and out on the town. Bombas are what feet daydream about. And for every Bombas purchase you make, Bombas donates a pair to someone in need. Who can say no to that? Buy your Bombas today at bombas.com/offtopic and get 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/offtopic for 20% off. Bombas.com/offtopic. Treat your feet. They deserve it. They're holding up your whole dang body, man.
What was the name of that that Let's Roll game we played yesterday? It was like
It was-
Resistance.
Dude, I don't know.
It was resistant. It was a modification of Resistance, but I think it was called like Resistance Avalon.
Yeah, that was it.
Is that what it's called?
That was fun as
That
hell.
game was fucking great. I'm gonna go buy it at home.
Yeah.
I was trying to tell Emily about it last night. It would be a lot of fun to play like with friends outside of work.
What was the other one we played?
I
Before
wasn't in
that,
that one.
I wasn't in either.
that was how did the game work? Do you remember anything about it?
I'm trying to remember, man.
Man, it's
Oh well, I'll think about it. Well,
Apparently, they just blacked out.
yeah.
That's what the game was.
It was good.
I don't
Whatever
remember
it
who was in it.
Oh,
Jeff was at lunch.
I was
He
a
at
forensic
lunch with Jack.
scientist.
Yes. Okay,
It was
that one.
it was like
It was one of
murder,
Larry's.
murder in Hong Kong or
Kong.
something like that. Yeah, it was good.
Oh, it was kind of like Clue. All right?
Yeah.
Was it good?
I wasn't there.
Was it good?
He doesn't remember.
I really like those. I really like that product. Let's Roll. It's a lot of fun to play card games or.
It is.
I love the creativity.
I'm not a big board game
Interplay.
or card game person.
I'm not either,
So
but
it's nice to
it's-
like play them.
From a performative standpoint, it's just there's so much creativity in so many different directions you can go with the interplay
this
between
mean?
people, and that means it's probably.
Am I calling myself?
I don't know.
I'm getting a call, and AT&T does the thing where it says fraud risk.
Oh yeah. It's
And then underneath.
Oh yeah, so it's a spoof.
Yeah.
So
odds
underneath
are it's like a scam. They'll call you with your own number and then be like, your number's been
that
compromised.
possible?
You just show your phone
It's just
number to the camera.
No, it says fraud risk.
You
No.
could probably.
It's
the
also
number right under it?
it's like a spoof.
it says
It's not
maybe
actually your
Trevor
number.
Collins.
Obviously,
I think
they
there's
can
an-
pretend it like it's your number.
I don't know if it's
weird.
still there, but I know there was an app on the iPhone for a while that would let you spoof any number.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
How'd
they'll
that get
call,
through
they'll
the
call
Apple
and be
Store?
like, your information's bullshit. Give us your credit card. and stuff.
That's another way how they.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
There are calls that I don't know if it's still happening, but if you answered, it would look like it was just a random local American call. And this is for us Americans. I don't know if it happened anywhere else, but you'd answer it, and it would immediately connect you to an international line that would then charge you out the ass for
Like a
how long you
1-900
were on
number
it.
or
And-
something?
yeah, and it would string you along with some sort of fraud thing. I don't know what it was, some scam. And so and then they would, the money that they were making was actually your time on the line. And then it would bill your your cell phone.
I was getting slammed maybe like last month with Apple, like an Apple fraud thing, where I would get an email, no joke, like every like 3 days, and it's like, your Apple account is locked. And I'm like, oh, and you open the email and it's like, your account is too locked now. Must dial call to unlock. And I was like, I don't think this is from Apple. And then you check the actual, it says like Apple, but then you click the email and it's like 400 characters. And I'm just like, oh, this is a little suspicious.
Do you see Rick Perry fell for one of those the other day
Yeah.
on Instagram? It was like one of those chain letter ones where it's
It's-
like, forward this to make sure that
Dude,
Instagram doesn't delete you.
It wasn't just Rick Perry that fell for it. It was every celebrity on Earth.
Yes. But
It
they're
was-
not
Rick
running
Perry
the
was the,
Department of
like-
Energy.
So what was
That's
it?
true. It was a spam text. And the worst part about it is it's a fucking pixelated piece of shit looking image
Yeah, you
of
can tell
text
by
that is
that.
poorly written and grammatically incorrect, saying that Instagram is going to be selling your photos. As of this date, any photo you upload to Instagram, they will own in perpetuity and will sell.
Yeah.
And that you have to opt out. You can't opt out of it, or you have to opt out of it by replying.
Mm-hmm.
And so like Bradley Cooper, Rick Perry, a ton of like legitly famous people,
Probably-
who I guess use social media but don't fucking understand it.
It's
or
probably their
aren't
social
smart enough
media
to figure out
team.
how to. I don't think anybody on a social media team is dumb enough to fall for it. I think the people that had social media teams didn't send the fucking
Right, yeah.
Well, yeah. So if Bradley
it's
Cooper's
like a
doing his
chain-
own
it's like
thing,
a chain.
yeah.
You gotta, I mean,
He don't wanna
imagine,
be
like, if you're
cursed.
Bradley Cooper.
He's like he didn't want bad sex for the rest of his
didn't
life.
want to be
Right.
cursed.
Apply to
Afford
this
it.
in 10 minutes and you'll have good luck.
Like a lot of those people, I'm sure,
kind of
don't
stuff.
have people that manage their social media. Like, why? If it's like, okay,
people do.
you got millions of dollars. Do you want to pay someone $60,000 a year just to take care of your social media?
Obviously they don't. Otherwise they wouldn't upload 7 minutes of your kids sucking your toes. You know
what
when that
now?
happened 2 weeks ago?
No, I missed that. What's that?
Army Hammer. No, is it Army? He's the one. Yeah, the attractive
Lone
blonde
Ranger.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
He posted a video of his kid like sucking on his toes. It was like 7 minutes long, and he's like foot fetish, and people are like,
That's creepy.
7 minutes,
That's
dude?
creepy.
Yeah.
7 minutes in heaven.
You don't remember? That was a big deal. I guess
you
I
I don't
missed that
remember.
we
I
don't
don't
read
know.
the same gossip blogs.
No.
dude.
Yeah.
I don't read any gossip blogs. to be honest.
That's weird.
There are definitely
That'd be
people
good
that
for
have
everybody
social
agrees.
media.
That
It
would've
was
been-
weird.
That would have been good on Fiona's show.
I think the way it works, Ryan, is that when people, and I'm just going to use Chris Pratt as an example, is when he was with Jurassic World, their team then he
Right.
allows them to have permission to access it. Because I know he posts personally, but then I also know that he was at a premiere for Jurassic World and someone had his phone and was
Yeah.
following him and making posts that clearly
That
he
makes
wasn't.
sense.
So I'm sure it's more like project per project basis as opposed to you want to run my personal
I'll be honest.
social?
I'm sure it depends on people because there's no denying if you're in Hollywood,
It's
and
a
you're doing
huge
movies
thing.
and shit like that. You're going people want you to have a social media, but there's people that just I don't give a shit. I don't have one. Whatever, you make it, you create it.
Yeah.
If it's something someone owns and uses, I think that's more likely there to post from it.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone's you gotta get one, they're probably yeah, sure, whatever. Have some
Yeah.
asshole do it. I'm sure that happens a lot.
I'm sure
There's
are-
plenty of people that don't give a shit.
There are
about
probably
social
whole
media.
companies in LA just for that.
Oh, sure.
We
For sure.
have this whole portfolio of this many people. Because there are some
You think
people
they have
that
like a flip book with like, look at this tweet we did for Sharon Stone.
probably.
It's a much more elegant rendition of that, but yes.
The company
like,
Jeff uses is awesome.
I don't use any of it, but I'm sure there are celebrities who have never touched their social media, their Instagram, who make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year off brand advertisements. And there are services that I guarantee you that are like new media marketing agencies that are like, here's an example of, singer or songwriter X. We created their social account for them. They gave us 40 pictures. We talk to them once a week on email and say, this is what we've got going on. These are KPIs we want you to hit. And we've generated $250,000 in ad revenue for him or her.
Is that legal if you don't specify somewhere that it's not managed directly by you?
it usually says in the bio that it's managed by so and so and their team.
Okay,
It's,
I mean
it's
that's
usually how
I feel like that tag would have to be there.
I don't see why.
I've seen
Because
that.
otherwise, isn't it?
It's dirty, but I don't think it's illegal.
But you're claiming that person had. Well, I guess
That
it is.
person's
but that
giving you
person
permission
still
to speak
giving
on
the
their
rights
behalf.
to
I think that's
So-
the
I
main
think
legal
that's what
hurdle.
does
The only
it.
legal
Yeah.
hurdle is there's an email or some sort of correspondence that says, yes, I'm Lady Gaga and I let them speak on my behalf, but they probably
In
have
the-
permission basis.
In the same way that a Tracy Morgan or a Michael Richards or whoever gets in trouble, or Gilbert Gottfried for putting their fucking foot in their mouth and they have to issue an apology, I guarantee you they didn't write that apology. That apology was very carefully crafted by an ad agency or by a marketing department or a marketing team that then says, here, post this. And you go,
Well, then why are they also bad at it?
well, they're not. The ones that are bad at it
at
are the ones that
apologizing?
don't.
They come up on their own, yeah.
I saw one just the other day. It was a woman on on like Good Morning at GMA or one of those shows made a joke about one of Prince William's kids being really into ballet, and she's like, "We'll see
yeah.
how long that lasts." And then she had to issue like 300 apologies, and I saw her. They played it on this gossip podcast lesson too. Her after she issued a tweet and an Instagram apology and a press release, then the next day she talked about it, and the response was so fucking like written in a lab. She's like, I've spent the last 2 days speaking with dancers, and I've understood the struggle that male dancers have in the industry, and I now know how insensitive my comments are. And it's like, you just take out the word dancer and replace it with like African American or like
Just group.
yeah, like Muslim or like whatever demo or group it is, and it's an identical response that you see.
Like a Mad Libs.
Yeah, it's almost like a Mad Libs response, but it fucking apparently it works because then people go, well, they've been conciliatory, they've made the apologies, this is their mea culpa, now they're allowed to be a celebrity again.
Is that kind of the problem with living in an outrage culture? Is that we can't maintain it anymore?
Well, I think it's that. I was also going to say that like there's so much happening, so much constant outrage that like that needs to be addressed, but it's like an overwhelming amount that like we almost by force become a short-term memory society where we're like, okay, well that scandal's done because we have this other one right in front of us that we can't ignore. So
Feed me the next outrage.
like, and it is a thing. I think there's something in human nature that like is predisposed to want to eat that up because you want to look at other people's failures as opposed to perhaps your own. I don't know.
I'll go so much further. I'll go further and say that it is a direct result. It was happening already, and it's going to continue to happen. But it is a direct result of the political climate in America. Whether you are pro or anti, and I'm not coming down on either side.
Whether you are this side or that side.
Whether you're either side, you have a system and a political structure in place that demonizes people and
divides them
and encourages aberrant behavior and disrespect, and that shit just filters down.
Yeah.
Was it that
permits
built up that way or built downwards the other way? Like
I think they met in the middle.
yeah,
I really do. I think that we had a level of decorum at the top of our political structure that helped tamp it down, and when that and it has been rising for years and years and years in internet culture. But as it's been rising, the last however many years you want to attribute it to has been sinking, and they just slammed into each other, and this is where we are.
and now we have a tornado.
Yeah, and now we have a tornado, or we have a hurricane off the coast of Puerto Rico.
It's
That's going to hit Category 4.
Is it up to 4 now?
So it will
going
hit 4. Yeah.
Jeez.
That's not 4 yet.
It's already past Puerto Rico though. I think.
Past?
Isn't
That'd
it?
be starting
Yeah,
to hit
it's
Florida
already
then.
no, it's already it's headed to Florida. It's
I mean,
already
it should be
over
touching it soon then.
Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. It's cleared them. I think Puerto Rico did okay.
Good.
Well, yeah, they need
needed
they
a
need
win.
a break.
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
God's sake.
Puerto Rico needs a fucking win for sure. Poor country.
Yeah, beautiful country.
Florida will probably
Putting
be okay.
it together now, still.
They've been hit by a few. They've got it kind of under control at this point.
I mean, yeah.
And we're going into an election year, so they'll take care of Florida quick.
Poor Florida. That's an old RVB reference. Poor Florida.
What'd you go off and get? You make some
I
liquid?
urinated.
Oh, that's good. We've all
threw
made.
in my
You make
trash.
water? You
We've
make
all
water?
made
Threw it in my
liquid.
trash and I made some water. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just getting political. You know,
I heard.
You know,
I
the
wasn't getting
audience
political at all. I wasn't
No,
landing on
I'm
either side. I'm just saying
facetious.
that whether
It was hardcore.
no matter where you land in that political spectrum, you can't deny the fact that we are
Yeah.
we're not in a good place.
No.
We're not in a respectful place.
No.
And if you can't lead, and if you can't, it shit rolls downhill. That's all it is.
Open
Shit rolls
up.
downhill.
You lead by example.
You lead by example.
Just eating
Gobble
the
it
shit.
up.
Eating the shit. That rolled. Dude, dung beetles, loving it right now. They're rolling on it. They make the big balls.
It's funny
You
because
take a piece of shit and roll it up into a ball. They do every day.
I've been
Every day
They just
push
call
that,
it- they
push
call
that
it
ball.
living.
What do they do with it? Do they make their houses out of it? What do the beetles do with it other than like kick it around? Are they just having fun?
They're just fucking goofing off.
beetle soccer.
Yeah, dude.
just beetle soccer.
Look at
Do
this shit. It's 100 times the size of me. Look what
Just
I
like,
did, dude.
Imagine that life. You're kicking because they walk on their hands and kick it with their feet. And
Yeah,
like
dude.
they keep backing into stuff and it knocks them around.
I'm not gonna question.
What a tedious, anxious life.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not gonna question the reasoning of a dung beetle rolling shit around. One, it's in their
just
name.
like Joe Dirt was a
I
dung
feel like
beetle.
that makes sense. Two, we waterboarded each other yesterday.
Yeah.
So when I see a little beetle rolling shit around, I'm like, yeah, that's probably cool.
Should we get an
Yeah, it's
office
like, hey, it's
pet?
little Ronaldo doo-doo.
No.
Should we get an office
No.
pet? Should we get an office dung beetle?
No.
Because you
Why?
eat dung.
We'll kill it.
Yeah,
shit in it.
it'll be
Why
bad,
would we do
though.
that? to a
No,
poor creature?
that's exactly why it's a bad idea.
Also, we have 1,000 office crickets. Ryan kills them every 10
I-
seconds.
I killed like
helps.
3 this morning. They were all living in my shirt.
Here's what we need. We don't need a dung beetle. We need
a
a
wet
trash
waterboard
beetle.
shit.
Yeah.
We need a trash beetle that'll just roll up all the garbage in our office daily.
What Ryan
Yeah.
wants,
We need a Katamari.
We have Michael.
We have Michael the trash beetle.
dude.
The trash
I'm getting
beetle.
old, man. I fucked up the office the other day. That was pretty. Oh,
What'd you
you
do?
missed that.
I saw the footage,
Yeah, it was fucking
the
fun.
tab
do?
stab or
Yeah,
whatever.
tap stab.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I sat down to
He
work the
was
next
trying
day,
to-
and Ryan goes, just gonna let you know now, they did a good job of cleaning it up, but your desk and computer and
Yeah.
chair are likely sticky somewhere. I was like, what?
Dude, Gavin really tried his best to get Trevor to do it, and he was like, "No, I'm not gonna do it." And I was like, "I'll do it." And I fucking stabbed that tab.
I didn't understand. Having not seen the full video, I only saw the
Did Gavin-
webcam footage.
Oh, you saw
I don't
that? Oh, okay.
understand the speed involved. Was it a race
Yeah,
of some
yeah.
kind?
He said you got 5 seconds.
No, initially it was 4 seconds.
Okay.
He wanted, was it 3?
Yeah.
When he was talking to Trevor, it was like 3 or 4 seconds. He's like, "Can you do this in 4 seconds?"
I was holding the knife claw that Miles
the
ended up
Wolverine
taking,
thing. Yeah.
and there was a line of tabs along the whiteboard. And he's like, "Can you stab one of those within 3 seconds?" And I put the knives down and I walked away.
Right.
It's like, no.
And I tried to goad Trevor into it and Gavin to film it for quite a while. It wasn't happening. And then here's when my heart broke. Gavin put his phone away. And I was like, "You get that phone
over.
right back out right now." And he's like, "Well, he's not doing it." I'm like, "I'll do it." But I was further back. So I was
By
like,
the door.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna need at least like 6 seconds. And then
Sure made it in 3.
no, I did it in about 6. The frisbee slowed me down.
Yeah, when I dropped
was-
it, it stabbed into
The video starts. He just screams "tab stab," and I just make a mad dash for the claws, and now there was a frisbee on it.
Oh
that had
god,
the
it's
claws
here.
first. What's up?
I was really hoping.
no, fuck no.
I was hoping
that
it would
left
disappear.
the room. It was absolved.
It's not our problem
took it.
anymore, is what that is.
He took it. Tell him to come get his shit.
If you're gonna get rid of it, give it to John Mace so we can dispose of it responsibly. We don't want to
Drop it off at a children's shelter or something.
Yeah.
Goodwill.
just a dumpster
Take it to Goodwill,
somewhere.
dude.
Just throw it down on the ground outside the Scientology place.
Oh damn, dude! They'll use it to cut grass.
Yeah.
They're like, I could use this.
It's like a scythe.
It was
for
good,
your
dude.
hand.
That was a good video. But anyway, it was a rare like Michael made a fucking mess. I think Jack of all people were screaming. He was like, "Michael, you!" And I was like, "Fuck you! You clean it up." It felt good.
Well, you did hit his desk. It got from
Dude,
the
I didn't
whiteboard
hit his
to
desk.
Jack.
The tab hit his desk.
The tab.
Here's the video
you
Gavin sent.
made the tab do it.
This is just like a 15-second video. I'm showing Jeff. You'll see. It'll be a video.
Oh yeah, that's where I got my desk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then it got
They got Jack's desk and
Jack got
Ryan's desk
hammered.
and
Here's the thing.
mine.
I can't feel too bad for you because you and Gavin started playing tab hit in the sky.
Yeah, that makes those two will be one video.
You
That's the
busted
tab.
like
What's that called? Tap or something?
I don't know
you guys
what
were
you call
trying
it.
to
When we
you
run
were just-
separate into the room and we threw tabs in the air and tried to hit them in the air.
Which every one of them was a failure.
It was
One,
pretty
because
bad.
Gavin was just throwing it into the sky. Like you were
wasn't
throwing
helping
it so
it.
an
He was
arc can
awful.
land in
He
Gavin's
was
hand.
pulling a mat in the moonball video.
He
Yeah.
was. But we did explode some tabs and we
lot.
fucking wrecked that the shelf
It's funny
by his
because
desk.
Gavin sent me that clip, and I thought that's really funny. You know who would appreciate this? Jeremy, right? He loves getting into it,
He loves getting into it, mixing it up.
mixing it up. He was out of town. I sent him that clip, and he replied a couple hours later. He was like, how's my desk? And I was like, what kind of question is that? Did you see what I just sent you? That's funny.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit about your desk? Also, it got hammered, obviously.
Not
It's
good.
bad.
Desk it was like right in the line of fire.
I was going
would
to
say
use his desk today for the stream. His computer's not running well.
I would say, yeah, but it's never running. That has nothing to do with the tech.
Ryan was in a mood
Dude,
trying to sit at Jeremy's desk
Jeremy's
this morning.
computer it's Jeremy, any equipment he touches, it's like he's got the Gus acid.
I didn't.
Jeremy
Yeah.
breaks anything he touches. Not
does.
like he fucks it up, it's just cursed.
I am completely and totally ignorant of this. I always considered Lindsay, Gavin, and your computers to be problem computers.
Mine?
No,
Yeah.
Michael's is.
Mine's
he
Like
went-
good
I feel like anytime we sit down,
Michael
you always
manages
getting
his
like I
shit.
feel like you were the first person to ever get Elgato, and that you.
I mean,
you get,
I get all
and I feel like you've got you and I have newer computers because of both of our computers.
Yeah,
now.
but I'll even say this, right? Like,
I didn't realize Jeremy's
No,
like
no,
a-
Jeremy
He's on
is
his
the
third or fourth
never-ending
one.
intermittent. Mine was like, my computer is dead. That's
Yeah.
it. Get a new one. That's it. It's just like, this sucks, get a new one. Jeremy's is like, works, doesn't work, works, doesn't work, works, doesn't
I
work.
wasn't aware of that.
Jeremy's
Lindsay's is awful,
computers
too.
are like they're on dialysis. They're always in a long slow decline.
But like, dude,
It's
there
not
was a
like-
day, I don't remember what the fuck we were trying to fucking film. That motherfucker went to 3 different desks and every
Jeremy?
one wouldn't work. Yeah, it was
He touched them and they
unbelievable.
died.
It was like the
that a
Phantom from TTT. The smoke was coming out of him as he was walking to every desk. And so nothing could work. He couldn't play the goddamn game. I don't remember what we were trying to do, but it was just
Yeah.
like, Jeremy.
Who is it
He
in-
tried his desk, Jack's desk,
Was
and
it GTA?
somebody else's
Who
desk.
is it in
might have been
Mortal
GTA.
Kombat that's like, was it Noob Saibot, the one that just is smoking all the time and has like acid mouth?
It might be. I don't know it well enough.
I thought Reptile was acid.
Reptile's acid,
Reptile
Noob Saibot
is acid,
smokes,
man.
right? I don't know.
This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by Felix Gray. You probably don't realize it, but the average American blasts their eyes with bright screens for 11 hours every day. 11 hours sounds like a lot, but screens are part of everything most of us do, including myself. Working on a computer, watching movies, or playing video games, it adds up fast, and it's a lot of work. This work's weighing me down. The fact is, you can't stop looking at screens, but you can protect your eyes with a pair of Felix Gray blue light filtering glasses that are available with or without prescription. Felix Gray glasses are a lifesaver for me. They filter out 90% of high energy blue light and eliminates 99% of glare coming off all of those screens, so I can live my life without tired, dry eyes, blurry vision, or headaches. I have the Nash pair here. They're comfortable. They work really well. I use them at home while I game. I sit 2 inches from my computer screen because I don't have good eyes yet, but you can get them with prescription if that works for you. Felix Gray glasses are available in prescription, non-prescription, and readers with free shipping and free returns. There's nothing to lose. Don't go another day looking at screens without the help of some Felix Grays. Go to felixgrayglasses.com/offtopic for free shipping and 30 days of risk-free returns or exchanges. That's Felix Gray Glasses, Gray. Glasses.com/offtopic, felixgrayglasses.com/offtopics. Get you Felixin good. Hey, you're talking about shows. I finally started watching Titans just because you mentioned it forever ago.
It's good.
Dude, it's like
about
really good. I'm not gonna say the show's really good.
It's fun. Don't say it's good. It's
Yeah,
fun.
the thing is, like, I don't want to say without bias, like, it's a great show. I have good taste. You should watch it. For me, it's fucking amazing. It's everything I want from like an action movie or a
It's
superhero movie,
Dick
or whatever.
Grayson blinding people with batarangs.
It's awesome, dude.
Are they
so
gonna
like,
cross that over with the other like Flash and Green Arrow?
doubt
So
it.
I
don't know how
actually,
the fuck they could.
I
dude.
actually read a little bit about that, and the answer is not anytime soon. And I assuming this information is current, hopefully. I read this before Comic-Con, so maybe things have changed. But there's the Arrowverse, and in the Arrowverse is
All of them.
Arrow, Supergirl, I think Legends of Tomorrow, and Flash.
But they don't all exist in the same dimension.
The
which is
CW
weird.
Arrowverse.
Yes.
Those all are interconnected in some way. Then there's the stuff that's on DC. What's it, Unlimited?
DC
or
Universe, I think.
DC Universe. And that is like Swamp Thing, which has been canceled. I haven't watched Doom Patrol, Titans. I feel like I'm missing one.
Is Batwoman
what was,
in that?
I think that one was
that's
in the
just
Arrowverse.
CW.
That's an Arrowverse.
And those are in the DC universe, and those they don't connect yet, and there's no immediate plans for them to.
Well,
but
they're
they
very,
could.
very tonally different.
Tonally very different.
Here's what I took ever since they like announced the Titans thing. I think they started shooting it in 2018.
Yeah.
And they had like the first trailers and like
Oh, and I think Black Lightning is in the DC universe.
Yeah,
I think
Right.
even though it's on
Yeah.
Netflix.
the that trailer just did nothing for me. Where like the focal point in that trailer was Robin going "fuck Batman,"
Yeah.
and it was very much like he's saying the F word. Watch out, you know. And I was just like, man, this is gonna be awful. You
He's
know what
just
I mean?
straight
Like,
killing people too, right?
Basically, yeah. But like, I guess I took it as like, fuck Batman. I'm using a potty mouth. I'm badass. And I'm like, who gives a shit? And then I finally watched it and like, yeah, he's like slitting people's throats and like stabbing
I
him.
mean-
And he takes a little R off his fucking suit and throws it into people's eyes. And I was like, fuck, dude.
thing is-
People getting shot in the head, getting incinerated.
I've only seen episode 1. He's a
nuts.
detective, so I mean, killing people is literally potentially part of his job. So he can't be no kill.
The only thing I'll say about that show that I still have a little bit of trouble with is the dude that plays Dick Grayson is great. He's a really good actor, but he looks like he's 12 years old. And I have a hard time believing that he went through police training and then,
I'll buy it.
became a detective at the age of 14 or
I'll buy
whatever.
it. I mean, he looks like he's like 24.
He looks like he's 5 years older than the girl he's trying to help.
Yeah, I mean, to me,
Raven.
he looks like his early to mid 20s,
Yeah.
which I don't even know how old he's supposed
You
to
don't
be.
get detective that early.
Having only seen
Yeah, but
episode
he's
1.
fucking good. He was trained by goddamn Batman, Jeff.
understand.
Trained by
I
Batman.
understand.
Put that on a
You
resume.
can't put that on a resume.
You can put Bruce Wayne on
having
the
watched
resume.
it, I honestly, in episode 1, at the end of it, I was like, sometime in here, it's going to reveal that he just like hacked a system, right? Like,
Right,
He's not
no,
really,
right, he's a
there's
little
no way
young.
he's a detective
Well,
for real.
he is.
Okay.
I actually think Doom Patrol's a better show because it's funny. And probably because I don't know it. Like, I had never read Doom Patrol. I knew nothing about it. I had no idea that it's essentially the X-Men and that there's a lot of controversy over who stole or potentially ripped off.
Oh, it's another one of those.
They came out within like 6 months of each other. And they're old mentors dude in a wheelchair who's really smart.
Oh,
A
okay.
bunch of misfits with powers they don't understand that are shunned by popular society. Like, it's pretty crazy how similar those stories are. But it's funny, and
Dude, it was.
I like Brendan Fraser.
It's
apparently.
funny.
Which one is he?
He's the robot man.
Okay.
Robot man,
That
robot
makes
guy,
sense.
whatever his name is. Not the best name.
It's
Whatever it is.
funny in Titans when Dick Grayson's talking to Starfire and he's like, "Don't kill these ones this time." And she's like, "I won't kill them," and then they die. And she's like, "They're dead," and he's like, "I told you not to kill them." She's like, "I didn't kill them. They just blew up." It's fucking dark, but like I'm just like, oh, okay.
There's another one where you're in that Titan show. Your buddy from Laser Team, Alan
Yeah,
Richardson,
Alan
is that his
Richardson.
name? He seemed like a really nice guy. I don't think I ever met him, but he and Dick Grayson are at odds.
Yeah,
and
dude.
you look at those two dudes like about to go, and you're like,
dude, Alan
don't
would
do
just
it, don't do
swat
it.
him like
And
a
we're supposed to
fly.
believe that they're like he's Hawk and he's Robin, and we're supposed to believe that those two could fight and
Well,
it could go
this
either
guy
way.
knows
And you're
martial
like,
arts, dude.
I mean, one was trained by Batman.
One battering
It's
to
true,
the
dude.
eye.
That
he's-
gets you.
he's
You'd
out.
be a detective immediately. You can
Dude.
fight anybody.
Well, I really like it. I'm like almost done with the first season. I just watched the
You're way ahead of me. I only watched like the
um,
first 4 episodes.
Jason Todd episode, and like again, I didn't really read comics, but like I know of the characters, and I thought that like they really nailed that of like the driving thing behind Dick Grayson is like he's not Robin anymore. I forget what the fuck they even are. Like,
I mean, he still is at least
He's
in the beginning.
Nightwing.
he's
or-
not really.
He's not
He has
Robin.
his-
He's not Nightwing.
He's not. He just
like,
uses the goddamn suit because it's like a fucking $40 billion suit that Bruce
Yeah.
Wayne gave him. He's not like Robin, as in like it's like he reluctantly uses it kind
Right.
of deal.
So
Like,
the
I
whole
guess I'll
time
put
he's
this
not
fucking
Robin,
thing.
but
He's not the boy wonder.
He
that's
is,
for sure.
yeah, exactly, and he just kind of uses it, and then his whole human persona is like, I can't use this anymore. I'm done with it. I'm not going to use it. And then he
sounds
keeps
like-
being forced back into using
It
it.
sounds like he's old enough to start transitioning into Nightwing, but this is maybe leading into that. So
But what it is
because like he still has to make his own.
I mean,
suit
I'm
and
like
identity.
episodes into it, but essentially like Jason Todd shows up, who is like the new Robin, because it's not in Gotham. I forget where the fuck they are, but it's not based in Gotham.
Detroit.
It's in Detroit.
It's
yeah.
in Detroit.
So like Robin shows up to like help Dick Grayson. It was like, and he's very much like a kid.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, but it's modern. It's 2019. So he's like, "Sup, bro? Like, I'm the new Robin, dude. Like, yo,
Yeah.
dude, I've heard mad shit about you. Fucking chilling with Batman is awesome." And he's just like this, like, kind of stupid kid. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
like skilled, but like, and Dick Grayson's very like stoic, almost Batman-esque, but like stoic. And then he also like his whole backstory is like he's got grievances with Batman of like. I was like, you know, he sees the new Robin, like I was like you once,
All
but
the same
now,
issues
like,
he has in the comic.
right,
yeah.
but now it's like, you know, I kind of resent him for like how he raised me and what he put me through, and like this isn't normal, and he shouldn't have done this to a kid. And like they meet, and you kind of see like what Dick Grayson used to be and shit. But like, there's literally a line from Jason Todd where you know, Dick Grayson mentions again, he's like, I'm not Robin. And he's like, yo, for somebody who says they're not Robin, you fucking run around wearing the Robin suit a lot, dude. Like, you're still wearing the goddamn suit. You're still fucking fighting people as Robin.
Still
like,
throwing those R's.
right, you're fucking throwing R's into people's necks and shit. So, like, I've gotten to the point right in the show where that just happened. And I think he's like, I think this is going to start him, like, I'm going to be Nightwing now. You know what I mean? Because there's this line from... There's this line from Starfire, because she's like back in this other thing, and Dick Grayson's talking to her, and like Jason Todd had showed up, and she's like, "How many Robins should I expect? Like, are you bringing him?" And he goes, "None." Like, whoa, he's done. He's done. But like, it's like corny, but awesome at the same time. Like, I love that shit of just be like, "Oh, that's not me anymore," and then fucking knife in the eye.
Yeah.
I'm really into it, dude. Like, I think like all the casting's pretty solid. The kid that's like Beast Boy is really good. It's like Raven before she's like totally moody, demonic. She's just like, it's the beginnings of all of them. You know,
Yeah.
she's just like a kid who's just kind of like these powers, and then you know, like demon comes out of her and shit.
So if Robin's swinging around town throwing out hard R's, if he changes over to Nightwing, what's he gonna throw?
Well, he throws wingdings.
Oh,
I know that. That's what I'm pretty sure that's what they're called.
Yeah.
I don't know what shape they are.
Probably an in.
Yeah.
can't be throwing hard ends, especially in Detroit.
Yeah, but with a mask on, people won't know.
This
so
guy doesn't respect Batman.
you can get away with it. It's like, it's fucking dark,
Maybe like
dude.
a
like,
W. Maybe throw a hard
I
W.
feel like
so-
I feel like I should watch it.
the thing with
Wendigo.
the thing with Jason Todd too is like, I know again he's like a street kid.
that's a Marvel character.
Damn.
He's like a street kid, you know, like he's
Yeah.
like a petty criminal. Like I'm pretty sure that's how Batman finds him. He's like boosting cars and shit like that. He's also supposed to be like 12 or some shit when he finds him.
Who is?
Jason Todd,
Yeah.
the second Robin. And so like there's a part where he's like helping Dick Grayson, and he's like, oh shit, the cops are here. And he's like, oh, I'll go handle them. And he's like, cool, like I'll distract them. And then Jason Todd just like beats the shit out of the, I mean, he's like breaking their legs and shit. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, yeah, man, you can do whatever you want with the fucking mask on. Like, fuck the pigs. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Like,
Lord.
this show does not treat police kindly at all. It's brutal.
Well,
You do not want to be a cop in this show.
In this universe, though, usually in DC, the cops are usually like crooked or
Well,
bought.
again, he literally even says, it says in Gotham, he's like, they're either useless or they're dirty.
Yeah.
So I don't give a fuck about police. Like, I just don't give a shit. And
well,
the kid
that's
was also
exactly
a criminal.
why Batman at all like exists. Like all the whole superhero like parties.
It's good, though. I'm into it.
You guys, anybody watch Letterkenny yet?
No.
That's
I mean,
one
I
I
watched a bunch of them
completely
way before you guys
and
did.
totally started watching because the audience kept telling me that we would like it, and I enjoy it. It's good. It's not. I mean, I'm watching the first season, right? So they're still finding their feet, but it's one of
Look
those.
down.
It's one of those. And one thing I appreciate in similar fashion to Sunny, it's a high joke per minute show, so it adds replay value to it. Like I've enjoyed this. I've watched every episode that I've watched now twice, and have enjoyed the second episode better each time as you like get to know the characters more and you like to hear the jokes you miss.
The
it's pretty
banter
good.
is really fast paced.
It's very fast paced,
But
and it's like one of those things
sometimes-
where like you're in when they miss the mark on their comedy, they miss it pretty far for me. But when they hit, it's really funny.
Sometimes
really funny.
in like season 2, season 3, they spend a little too much time on the hockey guys, which gets a little
they're
insufferable.
good in small doses.
Yeah, they belong in small doses. The hockey guys get a little out of control later on.
I don't know who that dude is, the main character, the kind of the redheaded dude that fights. But there's a joke he has where they're talking about how farts are like there's nothing better than a fart, and he's like having this conversation with himself. It's like the fart book episode where they build fart book, and he's like there's nothing better than a fart. A fart's perfect, except for maybe kids falling off bikes. I could watch kids fall off bikes all day long. I don't give a fuck about your kids. But his delivery when he says I don't give a fuck about your kids to himself, I must have watched that 20 times on repeat because it's so goddamn funny how he delivers it. It's just such a throwaway moment, but by far the funniest thing I've seen in the show.
They've got a lot of like running jokes too that are pretty good, like the ginger fucking an ostrich.
The
comes up a
ostrich
lot.
thing comes up every episode.
And it gets the story of it continues.
Yeah.
Like it keeps getting bigger and bigger, and
Like it
becomes
was
like
the
a-
ostrich. Like how do you fuck an ostrich? Well, the ostrich was sick. It couldn't defend itself. Like it was really weird and dark.
Eventually, it's like starts pulling more people in. It's like, well, you'd have to have another person to hold the
It
ostrich.
takes two people to fuck an ostrich. Yeah. It's and they're like, maybe we should go to a farm and talk to an ostrich farm and talk to an ostrich farm owner, and maybe he could tell us how ostriches fuck, and then we can figure out, get to the bottom of it.
I will say, somewhere in 2 and 3, like some weird stuff happens where it just, I don't know if it was the way that I think I was watching it on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
That's why I watch it.
I feel like it's out of order or something because if you watch it in sequence, like things will happen and then there's almost like a cliffhanger moment, and then it's just not addressed again for several episodes, and then they like bring it up again, almost as if it was the next episode after the cliffhanger one. But
I wonder if that's a function of like the show being on the chopping block and like maybe getting canceled and having to write their way out. Because
Maybe.
King of the Hill did that. Like they have like a true ending to King of the Hill, and then the show continues for a couple episodes.
The
a lot of-
true ending's the barbecue ending, right?
There was that. There was that.
You find out
Craig
fucking-
Robinson, Adam, what's his name show, Ghosted, where they were like paranormal investigators, Adam Scott. And that show did a very similar thing where it had like a natural ending and then the show kept going for a couple episodes. And then the last episode is an episode that existed like a season ago, but it had been cut for time or something and they just threw it in there. It's just, I hate when that kind of stuff happens.
I feel like a lot of long-running shows like hit a natural like finale. Like here's where it should end, and then it does another one. I think I've been rewatching Parks and Rec just as I go to bed. I'll just put that on a timer and then pass out. And I hit that point at the end of season 6 where there's this nice like the camera pans up. Leslie says goodbye
That's
to
before the time skip.
Yeah,
Right.
because season 7 it skips forward. But Ann
That whole
Perkins-
last season is literally just like
yeah. Like Ann Perkins and them go off, and then you're like, okay, that's goodbye. And then like they have another episode where it all kinds of winds down, and it does end with like, okay, she takes that job and she's still staying here.
right. That could
in
easily
Pawnee,
be
but-
the series finale.
But like, it would be nice to see the future because you want to eat up the whole universe, if you will. But yeah, there was a beautiful little ending there, and then they're like, another one.
Yeah,
and, like,
and
they sneak
it's-
another, and it
but,
feels
like,
totally off-brand. It feels extended.
It does
feels,
feel weird. I at least can appreciate in Parks and Rec because the show at its core is a comedy, and that last season is fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just so ridiculous. It's just like it's literally like a bonus feature on a DVD,
Oh, yeah.
but an
I
entire
watched it.
season.
Yeah.
because it's like. I think the last season 6 ended in like 2014 or something like that, 2014, 2015. And they just decide the next season's like 4 years later. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
2018 or something. And they've just insert all this stupid technology
stuff?
that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
have like fucking these like holographic displays and everything like that. And fucking Yorm from Lonely Island's in it. And he's awesome.
There's
It's just
there's
like,
a town that has like Wi-Fi across the whole. Town
it's just
like,
absurd. The
Yeah.
whole season is just absolutely ridiculous. And it's a shorter one too. It's
Yeah.
only like 12 episodes, that
Yeah.
final season.
It's nice when they do stuff like that, but I just picking up what you're saying. Like a lot of shows that are long-lived definitely hit a crescendo and they kind of wind down. I think The Office even went through that.
Yeah,
I think it's
well,
just
like
a
I said,
natural
the thing with the Parks
thing.
and Rec is at least it was funny, and
Yeah.
it was like I still liked it. It was just like kind
Just
of
different.
absurd.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of shows where it's like this is bad. This should not
Yeah.
be on anymore. Like let it die.
Like Drew
please
Carey's show.
End it.
Yeah.
Like when they rebooted it, like they couldn't. It was the show was uncancelable for some reason, and they had to keep making it. So they just started fucking with it, and like at some point they all quit working at the department store and worked at an internet startup, and it became a show about. There's an entire season of Drew Carey, or maybe 2, where they work at an internet startup.
Do they take like the angry lady with them too?
Mimi, yeah,
Of course.
They're
Why
all still
wouldn't
a part
they?
of it,
Yeah.
yeah. So weird. Yeah.
The one that everyone hated. Why wouldn't you bring her to your new company?
She had the blue.
I remember
blue
watching one episode and thinking like, I don't remember the show being like this, and I went and read on Wikipedia.
I mean,
and read
shit.
about it, and
That was like that's what they did with Scrubs that last
never
season.
saw that show.
I didn't watch it, but like the show was like Zach Braff and Donald Faison and like the asshole doctor guy and
Sarah
the janitor,
Chalk and-
Sarah Chalk, and that was like the cast. And there was like in the hospital and they're like nurses and this and that,
They're
whatever.
doctors, yeah.
And then it went the whole show, and then they wanted to do another season, and basically none of the cast, they're like, we're done with the show.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. We're not doing it. And they were like, well, we're gonna make it anyway. So then the last season is like pre-med students, totally different show, completely different characters. Some of the characters stayed on as like, and I'm here too, like alumni.
Cameos, yeah.
But it was literally a completely different show, and it was just like Scrubs, the pre-meds or whatever.
It was,
if I knew
very
that.
much like new class.
Yeah, I
essentially.
mean, it was literally like a reboot, but it was still just like season 7 or whatever the last season was, and then people fucking hated it, and then the show got canceled.
dude. New hotness though, Righteous Gemstones.
Dude, it's awesome.
That show's
Good-
awesome.
Good, dude. Succession is fucking amazing.
Succession is fucking tits.
Season 2,
so good.
dude. If you've got HBO, Succession is like
he's
it's-
catching up.
It's
Yeah.
maybe my favorite show on television. Like Succession. Like
It starts out. I'm kind of hooked
It's
on what
hard
it
to
is.
remember what's on TV.
it's just like every scene is so goddamn good.
Do you mean
I'll
like
say
what's
this.
running right now, or of the year?
The most recent season of Veronica Mars is one of the best things I've seen
I
in a
watched it,
very
yeah.
long time.
You mentioned
That ended very well. And that's, I think, technically still a show because I think they're going to do future seasons. So I'll say that's the best show on TV, but Succession's very, very,
Before we
very
follow
good.
that thread any further, because as someone who has never seen Succession, what is it?
Okay.
So
It's just started the season.
I hear you guys talk about it all the
It
time,
is-
but I have never gotten a sense of
It
what
is a,
it is.
it's a long form drama on HBO, hour-long show that parodies and lampoons or takes inspiration from powerful multimedia families. Like the Trumps are parodied in it. The Murdochs are heavily influenced by it, and it's about a family that controls the dad, Brian Cox, controls the media empire.
It's
similar to
it's like
Fox News,
it's like the
or similar to
third
Fox.
largest, second or third largest
the
in the
media
world,
conglomerate
and he's
in the
getting
world.
older, and his health is failing, and he's gonna have to step down, and he's got 3 kids that are all clamoring to succeed him.
4.
Okay.
Succeed. 4. Well, I don't consider Cameron.
Cameron doesn't even count.
Doesn't
his name's
count.
not Cameron, but
But he is
Yeah.
Cameron. He's going to
Cameron
always be
from,
Cameron.
from
Cameron
Ferris
from
Bueller's
Ferris
Day
Bueller.
Off.
Well,
That's his oldest son.
He's like
also,
a hippie. He's like.
Well,
I
he's
don't
also from the
care.
first marriage.
Yeah, he's
So
from the first marriage, so he's
half brother
brother
to the other 3.
But the 3,
That's why they're all so much
Kieran
younger.
Culkin,
Gotcha.
and then a sister, and then the dude that
I'm
plays
still figuring
Kendall.
that stuff out.
And they, and it's just like the power struggle within the company of them trying to take
Yeah.
over the company for their father, and their father not wanting to. I guess being torn between trying to figure out which one would be the best person to like continue his legacy, and also not wanting to give up control.
Yeah.
And it's just a huge power struggle of inter-family dynamics and
These
people
like billionaires
helping
basically.
and fucking each other
Yeah.
over at a macro level, like
At
10,000.
the
It's
level,
fucking
like
crazy.
one of the highest levels. If you have an hour to spend,
1%ers.
I the first episode sets up everything. Like when
Very
it
well.
starts, I'm like everything seems in a row, and you're kind of like, oh, well, it seems like he's got his plan, and like this guy's gonna take over, and the family is like this, and everything. Sure, I guess. And then all of it is undone over the course of that episode, as well as introducing what I imagine are going to be the big bad, like the corporate entity that they acquire that is now within the company. You know.
There are some
Yeah,
surprises.
it's
ahead of you there.
like
I don't know,
and
like,
it also
what's
it
ahead
just
of
like
me, so-
spider webs out of like.
Yeah.
Then there's like cousin Greg. You got to bring him. in. He's like the dumb character.
Cousin
There's,
Greg,
like,
you look at him and you're like,
distant cousin.
this moron's gonna end up running the company someday. Please don't be that like transparent. And then it's not.
Yeah, no, not at all. And then there's like
Is that the
you know,
kid who threw up in the
tall
suit,
kid?
in the
Yeah.
mascot suit out the
yeah,
eyes?
it's the kid from Sky High.
Oh,
Oh, he is the kid from Sky High.
know
That
that.
friend that
Yeah.
like lights up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of when I saw him. I'm like, he's the glowing kid.
You're right.
From Sky High.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
So I'm catching up. I'm going through Succession. The other one I'm catching up on, so because season 2's coming, is The Terror. So I'm watching through. I'm about halfway
just
through that.
Yeah,
Bought
there's
the
like
first
4
episode of
episodes
season
out.
2. Are you watching it on cable or? how
I'm
you
not
seeing it?
watching it yet. Season
Oh, okay.
2. I'm probably gonna wait till it's
How are
done
you
and
watching
just
it?
binge it.
I am watching it on Hulu. It's on Hulu.
Is it on Hulu?
I think it
I
is.
looked up all it had was season 1.
He's watching season 1.
That's what I'm watching.
Oh, okay. Well,
Not the new
I bought season 2 on. Alfredo's watching it. That's who's watching it.
Gotcha.
Yes.
But I bought it on Xbox.
I mean, I can't remember what channel it was on. It was on TV.
AMC.
He's
It's on
probably. I
AMC.
assume he's watching it on AMC.
Same channel as Killing Eve, which is also a fucking great show that
I
y'all
assume
don't
he's
watch.
watching it on
That
AMC.
y'all should watch. It's a fucking.
It's
awesome
another
show.
reason why I mean I love binging. I love Netflix. I love Hulu. I love all that shit where it's like blah, and you can
Yeah.
just watch it at your own pace. But I will say like Succession is fucking exciting to talk about.
Appointment
from week
viewing
to
is
week.
still fun.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it's so hard. Like when something comes out and it's just like dropped, no one's schedule is the same. It'd always be like you watch the whole show and you're like you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it. And I'm like awesome. Then I watch half the show. I text you one time. And you're like oh that part's cool. Then I finish the show. And then we have one conversation about it, and then it's over.
Yeah.
You know what
Or
I mean?
like I'll tell you watch Succession. I'm 4 episodes in, and you come back and you're like, I watched all 10 episodes. I want to talk about it. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta catch up.
Right.
You got ahead of me.
It is kind of nice to have that, like for me, that Game of Thrones filler, because that's what Game of Thrones
It's got
was.
so much going on that it is kind of like that.
And the thing about Succession is like why I love it so much. Like there is not a single fucking scene where I'm like, ugh, you know, like it's just I don't care. It's like all the interactions are awesome. Like they do such a good job of building the story and the family and like all the inner workings of it and everything. Like, and it's got a lot of comedy to it. It's really funny, like dark.
It's darkly
humor,
funny,
but like it's funny, dude. It's a good show.
It's also there's something about like especially with appointment viewing like that where you have to wait a week. There's something about like letting a world and a universe breathe in your head and mull over what you just watched and giving it. You know,
Do you
I
think
mean,
it
like I
builds it
still
out?
think about an episode of Succession for days after I watched it. You know,
Do you think that's something that we've lost kind of
Yeah,
as a culture?
100%.
Going to
100%.
bulk dropping things?
100%,
Yeah.
totally, completely.
Well, it allows, like you said, it allows it to breathe. It allows it to feel more real and bigger and deeper because you can focus more on all the minutia that you might have missed because you like next episode. Because like what was it? The Society? I binged through that. Like
Same
I
thing.
couldn't
I watched
give you
that
the
in, like, a
finer
weekend.
details of that.
Same.
But like,
I watched that whole show in 2
but
days.
sure, I enjoyed the ride. But like how I will certainly remember, for example, Game of Thrones more deeply because I watched it week to week and could digest it and figure out what was going on and ask questions
It's a
and talk to
journey.
people. I could go online and look at theories and stuff. Like, you know, not all shows are that deep, but yeah.
I think also sometimes when you get into like I'm going back through and watching all the Top Chefs right now. I'm just really enjoying Top Chef.
Sure.
Right now. So I'm watching season 14. I just finished season 13, and sometimes you catch yourself like. Because you know you can watch 5 episodes in a night or you have 10 episodes ahead of you, you get like a race to get through the content. You know what I mean? Like I will fast forward through what feels like slow parts sometimes. I would never do that if I only had an hour a week to watch a show. You know? And then I think it diminishes, like you're in such a hurry to get to the end, it diminishes the journey a little bit.
I had a great moment last night when I went home and I almost never turn on regular TV at all, especially when my kids are awake. But I was like, I'm just gonna sit down and watch like Food Network. I'm just gonna see what's on. It was like Guy Fieri's grocery games or whatever. My kids had never experienced a world where commercials were a factor.
Most of our audience hasn't.
Yeah, and they were just like, they were sitting down cuddling with me and just they were like, another commercial. And they kept going like, I've seen this
Exactly.
one 3 times already. I'm like,
Yes,
yes, this
exactly.
is what it's like.
This is why
this is what I was raised on.
Drink it in.
I haven't had cable in 10 years now, actually, now that I think about it. As like I graduated high school, went to college, didn't have cable anymore. And it was like so liberating. But I mean, we were still at that time, Netflix was just creeping into that realm. And so it was definitely more of a like movie, like people have movies and
Or
we're watching
download
movies and like
things.
and downloading stuff. But like now that there's tons of apps and everything's at your fingertips, it's just like I don't know why have cable.
I also-
especially when these channels all have their own platforms online where you can get it and like.
I also like Emily has that Hulu live TV. So a lot of the live TV we watch is just through the Hulu app because then you can just switch over and watch another Hulu show or whatever. And I've learned that like I remember why commercials. I hope I don't sound like a corporate shill because we're a company that has commercials, but like I remember being like, all right, I can go to the bathroom now. I don't have to pause anything. I'll just run, get another drink, and go to the bathroom and come back. And like, don't get me wrong, if I see the Mazda commercial where the lady's like fucking is on the red balloon with the rip off of the Cranberry song and she like touches the fucking snow as she goes down, I want to find the advertising agency that made that commercial and beat them to death. And I want to find the people responsible for the arrangement of that
Mazda now?
song and beat them to death. But every once in a while a commercial will come on and I go, I kind of want that. Like, I forgot that sometimes commercials are okay.
Sometimes that's how
you learn about stuff that you're interested in.
Sometimes
on
that's how
rare
you find out
occasions.
about products.
I know.
That was the other thing I had
How
to
else do you find
explain to
them?
Livia. She was like, oh, that toothpaste looks amazing. We should get that. That it makes your teeth look better. I'm like, all right,
Oh,
now look.
another commercial. That looks great.
Whoa, you got to understand, commercials, they're just trying to, they're not lying, but they're not exactly telling you the whole truth. You should do your
It is
research.
that- I do remember, like, when Millie was a kid and we'd watch SpongeBob and stuff, every commercial would be like, we'd watch Nickelodeon, they'd be like,
and, like,
I want that,
slime and-
I want that,
Yeah.
I want that, I want that, and you're like, fucking Christ. So
I remember those days. Nickelodeon, every toy had slime.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
you know what doesn't push any products to kids? Peppa Pigs on Amazon Video.
Just get it a hold
Just Peppa Pig.
blow
Dude,
right
I
through it.
missed Peppa Pig.
Dude.
This just was not in our house.
Dude,
All my
I just
younger
loves
siblings
it.
went through it, and that's the only reason I know it. That
She
and
calls it.
Caillou
She
and
says. She
stuff.
said she'll just go Pepe Pig, Pepe Pig. She says like
That's
Pepe.
a very different
Pepe.
pig.
Yeah, I'm just listen.
You're
I,
a Pepe
I
Pig.
shake her and I say Peppa, but
Don't worry.
she just like Pepe Pig.
She sticks with that for a little while, and she'll have a little British accent that all her teachers will ask you about.
That's fine, dude. Dude, so like Peppa Pig is like the daughter, and then she got a little brother George, and so like she'll be watching it. I'm like, who's that? Who's Peppa's brother? And she'll go, George.
That's awesome.
That George. And he's got a little dinosaur. He'll go, dinosaur. He says dinosaur because he's stupid and he can't say dinosaur. He says,
Does
dinosaur.
she ever get like frustrated when you ask her like, who's that? And she's like, George. Like she's assertive.
No.
They're
Not
usually
angry,
excited.
but like
she
yes,
either answers or
obviously.
she ignores you. That's
Gotcha.
it. She's not at the point where she goes, I just fucking told you it's George. I can ask her 10 times and she'll say it or she'll just ignore
Dude,
me.
kids are just excited to know anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, I know the thing, and you're asking me.
Yeah.
I know.
she'll-
I can answer a question.
Same as Matt
The
Bragg,
thing is, like,
honestly.
he gets really excited when we give him attention. I'll hear her say something and then double back and quiz her on that thing just so she'll say it again. Like I'll hear purple, and I'll like then look and she's watching something and they have something purple.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, what color is that? And she'll go, purple. Like I knew it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She gets excited about it. So she's like super, now is like the most, as she's getting older, obviously, but like
it just gets
focused
better.
and like excited about shit. So like her shows now are, because for the longest time she just like watched as like I'm a blob.
It
and I'll
just
like,
happens
watch
to
it.
you.
And she'll like emote like like she's always been like dancing. She loves like theme songs of kids shows. She'll get up and just kind of dance around or whatever. But she couldn't talk. But now that she's talking, it's like it's Pokemon, Blue's Clues, Peppa Pig. She's watching Dora the Explorer now. I bought her a doll from Blue's Clues, like a little blue doll. The fucking thing was from 1998. Like I got it and the tag was still on it.
Oh my God.
It was used. It was like brand new condition, but it was used. And it was funny because the person obviously who sold it wasn't a lot. It wasn't like vintage out of the box. Whatever. It was like $25 plush I bought. But it had the tag on it, and it was like, damn, Nickelodeon, 1998. I'm gonna cut that off and throw it away. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm not buying it for a collectible.
I don't need my kid to eat this.
But I'm just like,
Yeah.
damn, this person saved it for 21 years. Throw that in the trash.
$25.
But I gave it to her, and she just
$1 a
went, boo, boo. That's blue for her. And so
Yeah.
then she like hugs it, and she wants to watch the show and shit. She's also getting big into,
So to catch those Pokemon.
yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
She'd throw the ball, and
Does she
she's
say
now...
Pikachu?
She says Chichu. That's how
Chichu.
she pronounces Pikachu. And Jigglypuff is Puff Puff. Eevee's her favorite. I can finally dial in on shit she likes instead of just like, here's a random thing. So like I got her the blue doll, I got her fucking Eevee, that's her favorite Pokemon. I bought her a Peppa Pig and she was freaking out about that. Like I got her a doll of Peppa and she just goes, Peppa Pig, Peppa Pig. And then she's for the longest time she couldn't snort, because they go in the show, they do that, and it's like a varying size. Like George is like, and Daddy Pig's like, because he's a big fat fuck. But like she would try to do it, and she'd go, but she couldn't do it. And now she's gotten to the point where she doesn't snort with her nose, but she'll go, so she'll be like,
Ah, that's so cute.
so like Peppa will do it. She'll walk around and go, Peppa Pig.
Are the backyardigans still a thing?
I mean, they're on there. So what I did was,
remember that.
I fucking love the backyardigans.
What's cool about Prime Video is like, so if you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Video. It's free. It's like the streaming service. And there's a ton of free things on there. But then there's also paid shit. But the way they do it is nice because it's like subscription based. So like I subscribe to Pokemon, which is like, it's like $3 or $4 a month, but it's like every single episode ever of anything of Pokemon. There's like 20 seasons plus of shit. And then I also now have Noggin, which is like a Nickelodeon subsidiary. So it's got like 20 or 30 like toddler shows. So I'll just like open up Amazon Prime and then I'll go to Noggin and I'll just say to her, what do you want to watch? And she'll just like point at the screen. If she can't say it, sometimes she'll spout gibberish and I'll be like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. So then like she gets mad. So then I'll pick her up and like hold her in front of the TV and she'll like point at the thing. And then I'll go, is this what you want to watch? And she'll go, yes, 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 no. No. So then sometimes I'll be like, this? No. This? No. This? Yes. It's like, cool, that's what we're watching.
Wow.
Fuck, what was the other one? The one with the, it was a...
But it's on there. Backyardigans is on Noggin. She hasn't gotten to it yet. Gullah Island's on there, which I watched as a kid.
I watched the shit out of that.
Binya Pollywog. She hasn't gotten to it yet, but
Dang.
See,
it's there, dude.
I can't get my kids to watch things that like Voltron. Come on. They don't hold up very well to begin with.
No,
and then
no.
They made the new Voltron, but it's not really going
Beast
into that.
Wars.
Yeah.
That'll hold
Dude,
up.
OG Transformers.
She
man.
fucking points at a thing
Like,
and I
none of it
put it
makes
on.
sense now when you look at it.
She points at a thing and I put it on. It's mostly cartoons. She doesn't give a shit about live action.
Is it
Doesn't give a
characters?
shit
Is
about
it color
people.
based?
I think it's color based.
Is it like?
I assume it's colors and
My kids
drawings.
have just hit Power Rangers. They've
Yeah.
been just churning through the Power Rangers.
There's not a single live action show that she gives a shit about. It's all just cartoons. But like it's awesome because Blue's Clues came out when I was like 10, so I was already past like I'd watch it on TV when I would skip school all the time because this is back before streaming. So
Blue's
it's like,
Clues was old when Millie was a kid.
it's just like, dude, if you don't go to school, you watch Nick Jr. Because that's there's nothing else. It's that and soap operas. That's what's on TV. There's no fucking streaming unless you put a movie in.
There was
That's
no
what you
Cartoon
watch.
Network.
There was nothing. So I didn't have it. So like I'd fucking put on Nickelodeon because that's what I watched as a 10-year-old kid. But in the morning it'd be Nick Jr. So I watched plenty of Blue's Clues. But it's kind of awesome being in my 30s now, having my 2-year-old watch Blue's Clues and do the thing that the show was built for.
Yeah.
Where they'll be like, where's the clue? And she's like, clue. And she'll like point at the fucking clue. And I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Or she's like watching one of them where it's like pattern based, you know, where it'll be like, okay, so it's like the Christmas lights are red, green, blue. And then the next line, it's like red, one's missing, green, blue. And then like they'll hit it like 6 times, like, and it's like, which one's missing? And she'll go, green. I'm like, fuck yeah, green's missing. Get that little Christmas light up there. That's exciting as shit. It's awesome.
Dora and Diego were really good for that too back in the day too.
Yeah, it's also funny watching Dora because Dora's like, to me, that's like the new Blue's Clues, essentially. It's very similar of like, this is the child point and click, like learning. They also throw in Spanish is the thing that has, where they constantly speak Spanish. But like, it's funny because Blue's Clues started in 96 and Dora came probably sometime in the early 2000s. So Dora's like the newer one and they'll utilize like computers, but it's so funny watching in 2019, like this is a cursor. And it's like, click, which it's so like 20 years old now.
The mouse icon's like this big and like jagged.
It's all like, or like any mouse is like this big and it's like, you know, it's all very like antiquated
print
computers
something
and
out
stuff.
on their dot matrix.
But like, yeah, dude, Blue's Clues, like he has a fucking phone and I'm like, you don't know what that is? Nobody has a landline, you know? It's like one of those old like, hello, you know? They get mail. Yeah, well, you
still get mail.
Nah, I mean, not like, you get crap. People don't mail you shit, you know what I mean?
Bills.
It's not like, that's what I'm saying. It's like companies mailing. People don't mail each other postcards and shit. But like, they're remaking it this year in November. Blue's Clues comes out again. It's like a
really?
version, Blue's Clues and You. And it's actually really, it's like crazy faithful to the
I thought
original.
they had to put Blue down.
No, Blue's good.
Put
Blue's
Steve down.
Blue's basically the only thing that's changed because she's now like computer generated, so it's like a 3D-esque looking, but like everything else is still like flat 2D looking. It's like same fucking house, same
isn't
chair.
It textured to be 3D? Like somebody leaked, or I guess Blue's Clues themselves leaked like a test clip out of what the new Blue's Clues will look like. And I don't know if that was the guy or if that was a stand-in.
Yeah,
or
that
whatever.
dude.
That's the dude.
Yeah,
He's
that
the new
guy.
dude. So like that's Blue. Like she's clearly computer generated now. Not like animated, like 2D animated, but like everything else looks the same. It looks
Yeah.
exactly the same. Blue's the only one that looks different, but still, like they did a good job. Like they didn't fucking Sonic her ass and like make it ridiculous looking and like unrecognizable. And even in like one of the full clips they released, it's like a 2 or 3 minute clip. He literally fucking calls like, so the notepad is like the big thing. Like
Right.
there's a clue and then he draws it on a notepad. But now the notepad is a notepad on one side and a fucking like phone, like an iPhone on the other side because it's 2019.
Right.
And the first like clip they released, he calls the other 2 hosts. Like
It's a Palm Pilot.
it's like, yeah, but it's like Joe, he was the second dude, and then Steve is like, oh, Steve's got a detective agency now, and it's the original dude, Steve Burns, and he's like, oh, hey, Blue, blah, 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 and I'm like, damn, they did their work. Like,
There you
Nintendo,
go.
Show up or is it just voice?
No, it's video. They're in it. He's wearing like a detective hat because he's bald as
Bald,
shit.
right.
because He's just
He doesn't
like,
want to scare the kid.
well, he shaved his head for like, I mean, the dude's like he's a
Comedian, right?
He's a musician.
Musician.
I mean, it might also be, but he I believe, wrote and also performs the opening song of Young Sheldon. Is the dude from Blue's Clues.
I can't say that I've ever seen that show.
and I never will.
Will
but,
I? Yeah.
Popular
I'll listen to
show
the song.
based on. Yeah, I listened to it because I was watching Blue's Clues, and I
Yeah.
went, "Hey, what's he up to? Oh, he did that. I'll listen to the song." And I went, "Yeah, that's Steve."
That's Steve right there. Okay, bye.
It's also wild to me watching Blue's Clues now, being in my 30s, where like Steve in '96, that dude's 23. Where I'm like, damn, dude, like he's just like he's a kid, like.
Oh, 23 in Blue's
real
Clues?
life, the actor.
Also,
Yeah.
how does it work? They
years
just
old.
pass the dog off to the next owner. They're like, I'm
Kind of.
done with you, dog.
No, well,
Look
in the
at him,
original,
look at
in the
Steve.
original, yeah. So
bald.
Steve was the host for like 6 years.
Yeah.
In the original, he went to college.
Right, I remember that. I remember.
And so then Joe came in. I don't know how they correlated that. Who, to be fair, no, nothing against the guy. He's a phony
He's a phony.
because Steve, the character, the actor is named Steve. Joe, not his name.
Are you asking if Blue has daddy
fuck him,
issues? Like,
exactly.
you're not my real dad.
What's wrong with Blue that
Here's-
nobody
Yeah, why
wants
don't
to
they take him?
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing too. Her. Here's the
Sorry.
thing too. So Steve,
Yeah.
white, super white guy.
Yeah.
Joe was like some
Still
sort
white,
of Hispanic.
right?
No, he
No?
was. He was some sort of. I don't know exactly what his heritage was. Latin. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
The new dude is like. Or Asian, or I don't know exactly, Filipino. I'm not sure what he is
Yeah.
exactly. But like even in that clip, he's like, "I'm gonna call my cousins." And so they call him up, and I was like,
Hey, I mean,
"The hell
That's
of a
an
family."
interesting family.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, but it's like all the
Blended.
family of the rainbows.
the clip that
And we just keep passing around this dog.
It's like, what's wrong with the dog? Nobody wants it from
The dog's
dogs.
awesome, dude.
The dog seems awesome on TV,
They
but
just-
we're not seeing something that's happening
Steve
when they
was
yell
like,
cut.
Steve was like, listen, I'm
But they're like-
30 now.
Well, the dog steals
the dog
stuff
shits on the
It puts blue ink on everything.
The
keeps
thing
jumping into
about the
art.
dog is though, you're thinking of it too high level. You're giving the humans too much credit. This is more like a Key and Peele like Urkel thing, where Blue is Urkel.
Oh.
You know
So
what I mean?
that Blue is in control.
Exactly.
So it's
I
not that
think
Blue's
she's-
being passed around.
That's what I think.
It's that Blue's running through dudes and getting
You're
rid
done.
of them. Yeah.
They-
It was like,
Steve-
I'm done with you.
Steve went to college.
She's a 23-year-old dog.
That's the human version of Blue went out to the farm with
Right.
lots of room to run around.
Steve went out to the farm.
Steve's doing lots of learning at college.
Yeah. Oh, he's singing the theme song
He's
for
reading
Young
lots
Sheldon.
of books.
Dead. Yeah.
Well,
Mr. Salt and
Eating them
Mr.
up.
Pepper, they're still there though. You know, they're holding it down.
Well, speaking of old stuff, not 20 years, but close. WoW Classic has come out. I
that's a
dabbled
big thing,
with that.
dude. People are excited about it.
I threw myself a character up on Windseeker or something, whatever, some server, and like it was one of the lower population ones because I'd tons of people are dealing with queues, like 4-hour queues and stuff. I'm like,
What is this, AOL?
and yeah, the dial-up speeds, and so I got in there, and it's definitely like a graphical downgrade. For some reason, I thought it was going to be like WoW vanilla, but
it the
with
same
the
graphics?
Looking
updated.
good.
It looks well.
They-
WoW doesn't look great, but like it looks like it went down to what the
They
original
probably,
was.
well, what may be the difference is, because I think they kept all the new textures and things, but they
Oh,
probably...
that's my guy. That's Harold, the undead.
They found
rogue.
you, Trevor.
Oh, I tweeted it.
You got. I mean, but they probably kept the original models and didn't update them, so that's it's just like chunkier than you may remember.
Well, it's nice because I never really
chunk.
got super into WoW, and anytime I made a character, like they were like I think the first character I made was when Lich King was brand new, so it must have been like 2010, 2009 or something, and
I don't.
nobody was in the starting areas, and now it's actually nice to see people around doing
That's a
things.
goddamn traffic jam.
I don't
Yeah,
think WoW
it is.
Classic will
Last.
I don't think it'll last too long. I think it's a nostalgia play, which is totally fine and totally cool.
Yeah.
And I get it, and that's why those servers, illegal servers, cropped up. And I thought it was really kind of interesting of Blizzard to embrace that and release it. But I can't because I had also thought like I should load up old WoW and play some WoW Classic. But then I start to remember all the shit I didn't like about the first iteration of WoW and why it changed and evolved, and it's like it just feels like a grind before I even start to load it up. And I'm like,
I immediately modded it to get the quest tracking back towards
God.
what the like
Quest tracking.
Normal WoW versus classic, like classic WoW, like you have to manually like add things to the track bar so you can visually, but then you don't really know unless you read into the quest like where things are meant to be. Sometimes you don't know where it is. But now in like regular WoW, if you take on a quest, it'll automatically add it unless you don't want to track it. It'll tell you this area has the enemies you're looking for. So I immediately modded it to change it to be a little bit.
You're like, WoW Classic's awesome.
Speaking
but
of-
this
Especially
sucks.
when I make it not the classic version.
Speaking of not having quest tracking, what was the name of that Dark Souls game that we did co-op the other day? 3-player co-op?
It starts with an R.
So
the
it's
one
Dark
that
Souls with
Jeremy got,
guns.
the
Remnant,
one that
yeah.
Jeremy got
Uh-huh.
boxed out of. Not 4 players.
Did that come out
Right.
yet?
I don't know.
And I wanted to keep going with that one.
I don't
and I don't
think it
remember if it did well enough for us to keep playing.
I
but
think our,
it was so much fun.
It's probably a
It was a
sensitive
stream.
one.
No,
look at
we
the schedule.
we
Just a video.
recorded
Was it
it.
just a video?
I think the thing that came out today that was something we recorded a while ago was the No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky was also fun. I was reading the
that
comments
long
on
ago.
that. That was more recent than
I think it
Remnant,
was
I
like
think.
2 weeks ago?
But yeah, I just popped into my head because I remember Remnant. We spent a lot of time running around, and apparently that dungeon we were in is not. That's just a dungeon. That was not the direction we're supposed to go for the.
Oh, we still haven't gotten
progressive
to the
story.
next thing? Okay.
Yeah, we just hadn't done.
We're
the thing
still
we needed
dumb.
to do.
All right.
But I would love to continue that.
It is a fun game.
It's a
We
lot of
keep
fun.
saying, like, there's all these games that we get to a certain point with, and we're like, let's see how many views it gets. And then it does, but not really enough to spend more time on. And we keep saying, well, we'll just do it as streams. And then we never
Yeah.
do.
We streamed 7 days today. That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot
7
of fun.
days is always fun.
It is always fun.
And the funny thing about 7 days is we've never stuck with it long enough to get to the point where we could be doing things like we do in Minecraft. I mean, there's all kinds of things that we could play with the physics in that game.
We always joke in the office that if we want to get to continue a game, we just need to call every episode 1, right? Like that's essentially what 7 days is. Like we would get like 3 or 4 episodes into 7 days and then reboot it and start again because the server would update or whatever. And 7 days continually does well.
Yeah, as long as you just,
We should just
wait
like
a while and
we
start
should just
over.
play Remnant episode 1, Remnant episode 1,
I don't know
episode 2.
if I don't know if Sarah knows that was recorded because it's not on the calendar. But,
Oh, really?
But Blackout is.
Oh,
Blackout
Blackout was
Pandemic.
great too though. Pandemic was a fun game
Yeah.
mode.
I'm glad she got us that chicken though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a stream of Heave Ho last week, I
Yeah.
guess. It was a demo.
And that comes out tomorrow as well.
Heave ho!
What?
I think it's already out. Should be
Well,
out.
the demo's out already.
Yesterday
so
was-
No,
What are we
Ryan
talking
was
about? We
the
recorded-
game that you were showing me yesterday with the people.
It came out today, and
so
we
did
shot
that
something
today.
today.
That's what I'm saying. So we
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
we streamed the demo like last week, and then
And
the full
that's
game
out.
came out today.
Oh, was
Yeah.
that while I was at lunch or something?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That was
before
we
this.
did that right before the podcast. So then me, Ryan, Gavin, and Trevor record.
There's
we
so many
filmed
more
that.
levels to that game. I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
yeah. Because so in the stream we there's only a couple levels. We did the levels and then we went back and did them again. Just like fucked around. It's just a game where you're just like a body with arms, and there's just like you can grab with the right arm or grab with the left arm, and that's it. And you just kind of like swing, and you
And
can like
slap
chain
each other's
people
hands
together.
navigate
And,
stuff,
yeah.
yeah.
this and that. Yeah, that's what it's like. So the video came out, or the full game came out today. So we tore through. We had to replay all the levels we did in the demo, but then we got into like the full game levels, and it's fun. It's
Yeah.
a real stupid. It's like a. I don't want to say Cloudberry because it's not really like Cloudberry per se.
Reminds me more of
just
Mount Your
scratches
Friends.
that
It's just
itch.
yeah, it's
kinda-
like a
it's kinda-
stupid 4-player platforming, kind of dumb. It definitely rides the line of like a Play Pals game, of like a co-op, but like there's literally a feature in it that's there for no reason but just to fuck people over. Whereas if you're like holding people and you hold A, you start to like rumble and you build up energy, and then if you let go, you like blast them off of you. It's a way to like make people forcibly let go of you.
Yeah.
But the only real reason to do that is just to fucking kill people for fun.
It also launches them.
Yeah, and then when people die, they splat, and like their color covers you. Like blood is just like you get covered in like blue and yellow and green paint and shit. But that was a lot of fun. We did that right before this, so I definitely think we're gonna try and play as much as we can on that game.
Oh yeah. It fits in the same realm as Cloudberry and Chicken Horse, but it's not the same game as either of them at all.
I would even argue like Super Mario Brothers U. Of like a cooperative left to right game with like stupid kind of physics. There's no fifth player to fuck people over in that game. So you can just
He'll find
yes,
a way.
I mean,
you
we
can
haven't
do
dealt-
something in
you
real
can walk
life.
in and just like kick Gavin in the shin. That'd be good. It'd be funny. It'd be really funny. So, I'll let you know. They're probably gonna film it next week when I'm not here.
Yeah, we'll definitely want to make a series out of that. So, if you guys want to see more, hit the like button.
Slap the gnat.
Why not?
Updo.
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know.
You gotta slap
do
the
when-
updo with you, man.
How many times do we tell the audience, please, if you like it, let us know so that we can keep playing
Yeah,
it?
but
And
they
then we
don't
get to
like
keep
it.
playing it.
They don't like it then.
Tons of them
Watching
do.
this, they liked it. They did that.
Tons of people
It's-
did.
it's-
These people did.
It's the other 100, 200,000 people that watch other videos that they only show up for those other videos.
Imagine
They're
if.
too busy watching the goddamn Kardashians.
Do you think if we had everybody that watched this podcast hit like every single person? Like, do you think you could get 100% conversion from
No.
viewer
No,
to?
no.
Because one guy will be like,
Who are
Well, a
you?
lot of people
I'm not-
aren't
Who do
logged
you
in
think you are? I am.
because you can't give it a like if you're not logged in, and there's a lot of people that don't log in ever.
"That's fair."
They're off the grid.
I also sit
They
there.
don't
and
want
I
Dick Grayson to
refresh.
find them.
I just hit F5 on all of our videos, and so I can boost our views. Yeah. So not at all. I don't think
Speaking
that-
of boosting
I
our
don't even
views,
know if that
Billy's
works.
new video finally broke 400K.
On the way,
Someday.
0.4%.
Yeah.
Someday.
I'm getting there. Does that mean it's time?
Yeah.
It is
No,
4:30.
I mean, we should wrap it up.
Yeah.
I hope I get my eyeballs lasered and I don't have to do
Maybe
I
that
hope
was
you
a
do too.
sign.
I'll tell you what,
And I
I'll
hope it
do
goes
it
well.
for $500.
that. No.
Really
Where
good
have
deal,
you
I
been
thought.
for the last 8 years?
It's sitting right across from you.
Right. So
Yeah.
where's this offer been? Now that somebody else is
You
doing the
never-
job,
you
you're gonna
never
try and
said.
swoop in and
You-
take it?
You never said I want my eyeballs lasered.
No, I did.
I need to look it up online. I bet there's a good wiki.
Ryan's gonna do it like this, like a laser and a book in his other hand. Right, so,
I'll get the
oh
Wikipedia.
shit! Oh, I did it. I did this out of order,
I was supposed to make. You eyes aren't supposed to look like a cat eyes,
dude. They're gonna give me drops and a Valium.
Yep. They gave me
So I
Valium
don't
before I
freak
went
out.
in.
He was like, "We're gonna give you a Valium so you don't freak out."
I wasn't nervous at all, but they were like, "Take this." I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay."
Well, they're about to dive into your eyeball.
It's
Yeah,
weird.
dude.
Like when you're doing it, there's a dot. There's like stare at that dot. Don't look away from it because
Or
like
else.
because you don't obviously want to look away while they're going because that's when the lasers are firing. But there's times he'll guide or she will guide your eyes to where you should look, and there's times where they're like, "Look up and to the right." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm looking way away from that dot you said." Like, yeah, just do it. So it's like it's definitely like I just don't please don't mess up my eyes.
Yeah, or do, but just one at a time.
Oh, there's also a
then,
thing
like-
that suction cups on your eyes, and he's like, for me it was a guy. He's like, "Don't blink," and I was like, "Okay," and they like suction it on. An instinct, I blinked and popped it off, and I had like a bruised eye. Yeah.
No,
It didn't hurt. It was just a red
when they
dot.
tell you not to.
Blink when they say don't blink.
God damn, dude, they went
told
to
you for a
medical
reason.
school
That
for
is
that.
a rule for everything situation ever. If the guy
then-
has a laser, you obey the
Or
instructions.
But then they
Obey the laser.
Well, you lay in a thing, and if you do what I
What's
did,
the thing look like?
and like
Is
you
it
lay in a bed,
pod?
and then he like flips you around this way, and then
Now,
a
is
laser
there
comes down and
machine
goes,
making that noise, or is the doctor just going?
yeah, he's like everything is modern and silent, so I'm gonna add the noises, clunk, 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 and then I lay back, and the laser goes over my eye, and it actually makes a noise,
Did
and then
you
your vision goes,
scream?
yeah, I screamed.
I might do that
to make
just,
him worry.
Yeah, just like go, ah! And they're like,
No, it was good.
I'm just goofing.
It tickled. And then my vision went gray. Because what happens is it makes bubbles under your eye, and then, like it's bladeless, and then they
Bubble.
lift open a flap,
Bubble. That's Iris.
and then they swivel you back over, and then they laser it, and then they put your flap back,
And now he's colorblind.
and now I
Right.
can't see.
Damn, dude. Bubble. All right, well,
That's it.
It's that
onwards
time.
and upwards, surgeries
ya.
and medicines and all kinds of future things. You know.
If you're riding around Austin today and you see me on a bicycle, don't run me off the road.
If you're at the Scientology Center,
Wait.
invite him in.
Don't. I'm not.
Yeah,
Invite him
I have
in.
no
See
plans.
this guy?
I'm
See
not
this
even.
guy?
I'm not
Grab
even.
him. Check his fucking thetans.
I'm not even driving that direction today. I'm going the other way.
Driving
I've been
the
hitting that
road.
part of town too
You're
hard.
gonna hit that part of town when you go home because it's across the street from your house.
You want to do it now because this isn't out.
That's what they
It's
keep
not that
saying,
close.
dude.
Well,
When
this
you
will be
see
out
that,
in
you
the
go,
middle, yeah.
oh, and then just
rents a
knock on the
room.
door. He's
It's
gonna
not.
let you
It's
in and take a
not.
picture
It's not
with
that
you.
close.
Just do it now and get it out of your system. Take
It's in
your
the
last look
same
at them.
town. That's
Same city.
same city.
Same
Same
state.
block.
Not that close.
Same block.
Okay.
I
I have a.
Jeff has the even numbers, and the Scientology are the odd numbers.
Oh, so it's one address off, like 22 Jump Street versus 21. Yeah. Do we don't walk off this show? I don't know.
no,
why
because there's a post show, but I don't
Yeah.
think anybody's gonna be on it. All right,
they
well,
they go to this.
wrap it up.